You ever wonder how long I can hold this? It's all about a technique of breathing. Famous, it's been too many days, too many. God. Of course, there hasn't been a lot to chew the fat on anyway. But today, let's go ahead and do some chewing fat. Good to see. Hey, see, good. Always believe in yourself. That's a nice compliment. And it's Casey Bryant Culp. Guys, and what's this? Oh, 13th. Wow, I've not seen the 13th in a long time. Oh, get ready for 2022. Here we go. But first tonight, the good, the bad, and the scary. And I'll talk about how good the 49ers are, some of the situations we have suddenly seen develop within our organization. And when you think about last year and the years before, this is some people are very comfortable. It's very uncomfortable. There's so many question marks, right? And I'm not talking about the quarterback. We have question marks everywhere. And we're used to winning, and that's why we want to continue winning. So it brings off a little nervousness. So, But the 49ers continue to cultivate a recently silenced rage in the Deebo Samuel camp for reasons that can only be speculated upon. Everybody's got their theories and wonders what's going on, and also have their reasons as to why the 49ers won't sign, when really they've done this for the past 3 big signings. And there is nothing to go on this time. Well, there are. The people are coming up with reasons why they, but it's not. This is what they do. And as I told somebody on Twitter today that was trying to figure out why the 49ers are taking so long, I said, you know what? The 49ers are trying this year to send a clear message. Listen, don't come in here hooping and hollering about I need to get paid. We'll pay you in July or August as we see fit. And that's the bottom line. So whatever reasons everybody's coming up with, forget about it. The Niners are going to pay when they get ready to pay. That's the bottom line. But meanwhile, Terry McLaurin of the Commanders has just been extended and paid really handsomely. McLaurin adds to the growing list of wide receivers that have been compensated ahead of Deebo, much to his chagrin, and he doesn't really like that. How is McLaurin's contract going to impact that of Deebo Samuel, if at all? Nick Bosa represents the biggest strength the Niners have, according to the PFF and ESPN collaborations ranking of teams according to roster personnel. But tonight, we're going to take your phone calls after looking at Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin's recent contract that will add perspective to Deebo's situation, and also PFF's NFL strengths versus weaknesses rankings of the 49ers position in the league. Did you notice, though, where NFL.com has already said Elijah Mitchell could be a first-time Pro Bowler coming up the next year? Wouldn't that be nice? Because if Elijah does well, no matter what anybody says, this offense is predicated on the run game. If he does well, that means the 49ers offense will be sizzling. You'll smell it like bacon on Sunday afternoon. Go Niners, go Niners. Oh, there goes Elijah. Oh, there he goes. Hey, he's going to break that one. Oh, God. See, I want to be able to say that every Sunday. There goes Mitchell. Because he didn't break away. He's a 4-3 guy, too. He broke away a couple of times. But he wasn't that Mostert kind of guy. And we don't expect any more Mosterts. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to ever see another Mostert again. Raheem would bust out, and you knew as soon as he got past that line of scrimmage, if he was out in the open, game over. He's gone. See, so we'll see. He's gaining weight. He's getting stronger. If Elijah Mitchell can stay healthy from week to week, I suspect last year he may be Raheem Mostert. But the fact of the matter is he was nursing injuries after that first tremendous week. So what we saw was a warrior, a gladiator, out there just playing through the pain and getting it done, and he did a good job. I'm a huge fan of his. Make no mistake, I'm not knocking Elijah Mitchell. I think he's fantastic. But the Washington Commanders and wide receiver Terry McLaurin on Tuesday agreed to a 3-year extension and it was worth up to $71 million. Contracts for wide receivers, particularly those drafted with Deebo in 2019, are of a major interest, as you know, the 49ers, as they try to iron out a deal with Mrs. Samuel's baby boy, D. And he ain't having this. He's been quiet and nice lately. I guess his mama called him and said, like, you know, I didn't raise you like that. You being all impolite. You got your brother in here acting a fool. Don't do that now, because I didn't raise no fool. And, you know, this is, because I don't know, have you figured out yet why Deebo just quieted down all of a sudden? I mean, real quiet. So contracts for wide receivers, as I mentioned, in 2019, what the 49ers looking at, so they're thinking, well, you know what, if he got that and he got that, and Deebo's the best of the group, what am I going to do? Where McLaurin's deal could help inform what Deebo's deal may look like is not particularly the financials, but in the length. Much of the reporting on Deebo's desires in his pursuit of a new contract involved looking beyond this 2022 extension. Deebo's talking about, hey, you know, according to Ian Rappaport, he has remained consistent in saying that Deebo doesn't want to hold on to his running back role because he's hoping for another big payday in his career, which would mean longevity and multiple bags are the impetus behind Deebo's trade request, which is still on the table. So running between the tackles and getting blasted by big dudes coming from 100 miles away is not going to be favorable for what he has planned for his future, right? So Deebo's going to use probably McLaurin's 3-year deal as a starting point in his own negotiations. If Deebo comes in just slightly above McLaurin in dollars, he'd still land among the league's highest paid receivers while also getting himself up to hit free agency again right after he turns 30, which is Deebo's probably looking for another big payday other than just this one being the last one. So he's planning ahead. So I hope he continues to take yoga and keep those hamstrings loose. It's a gamble, but assuming he keeps producing at a high level and his health remains intact, there's a real chance he sees a second substantial deal. The Niners, on the other hand, will probably push for more years, which would benefit them significantly. They most likely would love to lock Deebo up through 2026 or 2027 with a 4 or 5 year deal. That would also allow them to spread more of his money out and set themselves up to bail a year or two early from the deal if he doesn't perform into his late 20s. It's a dog-eat-dog world up there in them front offices of the NFL. And any professional sport, the owner's trying to make sure that player is satisfied enough to play while taking care of themselves. Meanwhile, the player, on the other hand, is thinking his future. So you got two opposite polar ends pulling each other. So when do they ever get anything done, isn't it? Given the mood apparently coming out from Deebo's camp, though, a shorter deal may be where the 49ers will have to land if they want to obtain Deebo's services for the long term, unless they just offer him some monumental amount of money. I would imagine Deebo will give you 5 years, $150 million. What? Say what? You want me to repeat that again, or did you hear me? No, I'm just... Where do I sign? Just bring me the paper. Bring me the paper. You know, see, because those are the kind of things that they're not going to happen. So keep in mind, though, the 49ers have a lot of leverage with Deebo going into the final year of his contract. This is his rookie contract, and they could call his bluff, and they could see if he'll sit out the season and jeopardize his 2023 free agency. Of course, that would be hurting the team, putting your best offensive player in a fit of rage and removing him from the equation just in time to break in a brand new quarterback. Trey Lance probably wouldn't think that was very cool. Man. So, you know, as the cash and Deebo's value as one of the most uniquely gifted OWs in the game are worth an argument, the 49ers may wind up having to work out a shorter contract that resembles something closer to McLaurin's than A.J. Brown's or Devontae Adams' longer deals. What will it be? You make the call, fam. I wonder. I really do think it's going to be a shorter deal because they're going to have to yield to this. I think Deebo's going to stand pat on this and say, all right, you know what I'm going to do, y'all? You'll give me a 1-year contract, okay? What? Yeah, I said a 1-year contract. Look, I told you you're not even trying. 3-year deal. I mean, you won't even give me a 4. Give me a 1-year deal and we'll renegotiate this next year. Otherwise, you think I'm playing? I'm going to sit down. Yeah, I've been saving up money, y'all. I ain't got to play this year. You know, these things can happen. You just don't know. You know, NFL roster rankings for all 32 teams for 2022. Strengths, weaknesses, and X factors for every starting lineup. San Francisco 49ers, we came in an unlucky 13. Biggest strength, the Niners have one of the best defensive linemen. Nick Bosa, one of the deepest defensive line rotations in the league. We all knew this. You're not telling us anything, PFF and ESPN. Bosa's 90.6 PFF grade across his 2 healthy seasons in 2019 and 2021 ranks 3rd among all qualifying edge rushers since 2019, behind only elite company Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt. And the Niners can turn to Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Samson. I know, I already got taught to say this. I've been calling the wrong name. I won't say it again. Ebucom. I knew there was going to be a quiz on this. That's why I was ready. Ebucom. You've been there. Charles Omena, who I'm really leaning toward. I can't wait to see this guy. Kerry Hyder Jr. is back. Kimiko Terrain, 2nd round rookie Drake Jackson, alongside Gerald Bosa's baby boy, the smaller bear, and little Nicky. They gonna be tough. They gonna be bad. They gonna be scary. They gonna be vicious. Ooh, I can't wait till the season starts to watch the first offensive team. Try to do. Ooh, that would Michael out of Chicago. That would be your guys. Uh-oh. See, Michael's already said y'all ain't gonna score 30 points on the Chicago Bears. Okay, Michael, you know what then? It's going to be a 0-0 tie at the end of the game then. DC D'Amico isn't lacking any options whatsoever. The boys got all kind of directions you can take that defense into. And now you got a decent secondary. Look out. We're talking a potential number 1 with the best linebacking crew in the NFL, voted by many people. Oh, I love to celebrate things early because when the time comes and things go south, if they do, you're sitting back there, didn't have any fun, you wasted these moments to have a good time. The worrisome news is this, though, fam. Biggest weakness in San Francisco's interior offensive line will have to replace. We knew this too. Lakin Tomlinson at left guard after he followed Robert Saleh to the Jets in free agency. Alex Mack's retirement after 13 NFL seasons opens up yet another hole at center, given the right guard manned by Daniel Brunskill in his 57.1 grade from PFF last year. Was already the weak point of their offensive line. I know, right? That's 3 potential unknowns and question marks on the inside with a brand new quarterback. Let's move on. X factor for 2022, that has to be Trey Lance, right? TL is expected to take command from Jimmy G, whether or not the Niners are able to work out a trade to send Jimmy. We'll just jettison him somewhere else. Prior to the season, Lance is still supposedly supposed to be the starter. T. Lance saw limited action with just 2 starters as a rookie last season. He just managed a 59.9 PFF grade in 179 offensive snaps. But according to PFF, the floor is lowered with Lance compared to JG. Led offense, but there's also reason to be excited about the offense could look like with Lance's arm talent and rushing abilities. So, it's not, you got to wait. We got to wait to see what happens first before we start to get feeling one way or the other. So, you know what? Let's go over the PFF grades and see how they arrived at ranking San Francisco at an unlucky 13, though. Because, you know what? There's a lot of teams ranked ahead of us. That's 12 teams. We're middle of the pack. That's usually the case, so. Man, some guys are going to have to play above what they did last year. Okay, Trey Lance, 59.9 grade for him. Elijah Mitchell, 76.8. Juszczyk, 64. I thought that was a little unfair. How did they come to that conclusion? Deebo's at 90.2. When you think about Juice providing what he does, I don't know how you grade him as low as 64. Brandon Ayuk got 75.9. Jawan Jennings a 66.2. These are the grades they use to average out what they do. George Kittle 90.7. Trent Williams 96.6. I don't know why they couldn't give him 100. Oh, I guess because he got hurt a couple of times. Aaron Banks 81.3 with an asterisk. Left guard 86. That makes him only second to Trent Williams, and he hasn't played any snaps. Jake Brendel got 58.8. We can start crying right now. Daniel Brunskill, 57.1, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Mike McGlinchey, 69.8. Javon Kinlaw, 54.1 with an asterisk, which I guess because asterisk must indicate injury last year. Derek Armstead, 76. Nicky Bosa, 89.4. Which 89.4? Why? He should have been 90, right? At minimum. Ed Sampson, Ibukam, 67. The Astros must be because they're rookies. Drake Jackson's got an 82.3 rating. Woo! Big expectations from the D-boy. Fred Warner got an 8.1. You guys gave Fred an 80.1. You know, it's so funny because we talked about this. Fred had some stretches last year where he wasn't all-pro Fred Warner. But for the most part, he was pretty much, to get an 80.1, you still have to be pretty impressive all the time. Dre Greenlaw, 59.8. Dre didn't play the asterisk on injuries. I think that's what that indicates. Shavarius Ward, 71.2. E-Man Mosley, 69.1. Darquez Denard, 66. Asterisk next to his name. J-Dub, Jimmy Ward, 74.8. Tavares Moore, 60.2. These are how they arrived at the things they did. We're just ahead of the Denver Broncos. Just barely. We're ahead of the Colts at 15. And Dallas Cowboys at number 16. Dallas! Dun, 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 dun. Dallas, I feel like going down through your stuff, too, just to see. The Commanders at 17. The Commanders, that front line defense is going to be ridiculous, though. And the Patriots coming in at 18. And by the way, you saw all over the dailies today how some analysts are now going back and saying that the pick for the 49ers should have been Mac Jones. Why they did that, I'm not sure. Mac Jones has got a rating of 80.4. Okay. Minnesota Vikings at number 19. Tennessee Titans at number 20. Vegas Raiders at 21. Right? I don't know. I have no idea how they got that. The Raiders that bad? But wait, it gets better. The Steelers at 22. I saw a team down here I was kind of shocked about. The Cardinals, that's what I was shocked about. Cardinals are ranked at 23. Farrell, there is only one team standing between the 49ers and NFC West Championship, apparently, by most prognostications, and it is the LA Rams, who are ranked at number 4 in this personnel ranking chart. Tony Nakatani from the blue waters of Hawaii. PFF's trying to push the 49ers Vegas odds down now so they can reap the rewards come the playoffs. Look at Tony's got that all figured out. Hey. Tony, brilliant. And 13th. What is that? 7. You're the one who comes up with these outstanding emojis. I love it. Oh, God. I still think the 49ers personnel is going to be surprises in a lot of areas. So I'm not real concerned about what PFF is talking about. And Tony's probably right on target. This is a strategy by PFF to get some things done. I don't know how much Vegas takes PFF. I think Next Gen Stats, I don't know, which one do you think, which one does a better job, Next Gen or PFF? Hey, and there's Eric riding in. Eric, come on in, man. We're talking about what did they do to Deebo. And will it make them so mad? And when they come in trying to tell the 49ers, look, we're not taking any 3-year deals, so we'll tell you right now, or any 5-year deals. We'll take your 2-year to 3-year deal. And also about the personnel and how it ranks in the NFL. Eric, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ronbo?
Oh, fabulous. I love it. I love Fridays. Best day of the week.
Yeah.
Thursday.
I think
I gotta
Deebo,
wait for Friday. I'm in a Friday mood. Go ahead.
Yeah, it does feel like Friday, to be honest.
It does.
But I think Deebo is going to get somewhere around 4 years. I don't know if I don't think it is going to be 3 years. I think the Niners are going to want to keep Deebo for most of his prime. So I believe that's 230. But I also think that I think we've understand that Deebo does want to just be a wide receiver. It's been said that he does not want to be the wide back anymore. In my personal opinion, if Deebo wants to be paid the way he's going to get paid, you need to do what got you paid that much money. If you're not going to play, play the way they've played you, then I don't think you're deserving of the money that is going to be handed to you, because you're going to be handed, top tier money within this league, and you need to do what got you that money. I think for Deebo, it's been mostly screens, getting the ball in the backfield, things like that, jet sweeps, things like that have gotten him the money that he's deserving of today. So if going forward, I think the Niners should play him like that. If he doesn't want to do that, that is extremely unfortunate. I don't know what they would do with him at that point, but I think the Niners are going to need more than ever their superstars to step up, especially in the middle of the season. I don't know why people are not talking about this, but from week 7 to week 14, the Niners play pure playoff contenders. That is not a good thing. Also, during that 7-game stretch, the Niners played 4, in my personal opinion, 4 Super Bowl contenders. During that stretch, they played the Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, and Buccaneers. 4 playoff contenders. They play more Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion, than they do playoff contenders. That is ridiculous. So they're going to need prime Kittle.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to go ahead. I was just agreeing that it's going to be rough coming down through there. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think during that stretch, they're going to need prime Kittle. They're going to need, prime Deebo. They're going to need Ayuk to take the next step. Offensive line is going to have to be serviceable, to the least. Hopefully Elijah Mitchell is going by then. Hopefully Trey Lance already has gained his rhythm by week 7, because that 7-game stretch is no joke. They play the Saints, Dolphins, they play the Cardinals. Those teams are playoff contenders. The Dolphins, I believe, went undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they went like 7-0 or something.
And they're ranked ahead of us as far as personnel rankings. They're at number 10. They're 3 spots above us.
Yeah, and
they beefed that lineup up to a point now where they're frightening.
Yeah, they have a good receiving core. They got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I don't know how good Tua is. I don't even know if they have a good running back, but I know Mike McDaniels.
Raheem Mostert's
doesn't
over
know
there.
Kyle Shanahan. Exactly. They have pure speed over there on that team.
Damn.
Obviously, the Niners did upgrade. Tre'Davious Ward is a faster corner. I don't know how. I believe he's a 4-4 guy or 4-3. I'm not mistaken. But again, that is really good. So the Niners did beef up their secondary. If Jason Verrett comes back, that's really good. He's a 4-2 guy, not 4-2, 4-4 guy. So if Jason Verrett comes back healthy, that corner group, if he comes back and he's healthy and he's playing to a Pro Bowl level, he could be corner 1 in all seriousness. I think 2020 Jason Verrett would be corner 1 on this team right now. So if he comes back and he's that, and they have Tre'Davious Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, and Ambry Thomas, who's only improving, that is probably the best secondary in the league, on top of a really stacked defensive line. So the Niners could do this. They could make this, very interesting. Lance is going to have to play. I think Lance is going to crack the top 15 by the end of the season, in my personal opinion. I don't think he's going to crack the top 10. I think he'll be around 13 and 14, where I think he'll be around guys like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. I think he'll be around that area. I'm not comparing him to those guys. I'm just saying I think in terms of stats, he will be around those guys. That's why I think he'll be in the top 15.
He can do as well.
Yeah, I think he will. And that goes along with rushing yards. So he might not have as many passing yards, but he'll definitely have the rushing yards, maybe rushing touchdowns, things like that. That someone like Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins won't have. That's why he'll be in that area. I think sleeper pick or like sleeper stat, I think Elijah Mitchell's going to crack 1,000 yards. I think he will. I know there's a lot of guys behind him, but I think Elijah Mitchell's going to take the next step. I think there was a lot. I think he left a lot of play out there. He was injured for a lot of the season.
Every week, Eric. Every week.
Every week. And then him taking a massive workload. I think Lance is going to take some of that. Obviously, I'm not assuming Lance is going to be running the football like read options.
No, you got the big guy. You got the big guy they just brought in.
Yeah.
Let him do some. Let him take some. Let him initiate some punishment out there. Davis Price is a big man.
Exactly.
Give him the ball. Give him the damn ball.
Yeah, and then there's Jason. Jeff Wilson. I believe he had 10 touch. I believe in 2020 he had double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, no,
So that,
he
again,
was just
we're
hurt
bringing
last
in-
year. I'm looking for him to get good this year too.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree.
So him coming back, obviously they're going to get snaps. I'm just expecting, Elijah Mitchell to get most of them. Hopefully it's around 15 for Elijah Mitchell most games. Obviously, I think Brandon Ayuk will take the next step in helping the offense, but again, the offensive line is going to have to step up. I think someone within the offensive line, where that's Aaron Banks or the center, I think one of them is going to have to turn serviceable because I think Daniel Brunstill's chilling at right guard, and then Mike McGlinchey, hopefully he comes back and he's like the running right tackle. Hopefully he's good in that area again. But Trent is obviously the best tackle in football.
If he can keep him on the field, Eric, that's the thing. We're going to have to stop here, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and come back tomorrow because every time we leave, we leave with stuff we wanted to talk about. It seems even if there's nothing to talk about, we just like to talk 49er football. Eric, great to hear from you. You know this. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, good stuff.
All right, Ronbo. All right. And one more thing, to the Chicago caller, just so you know, there's never been a Bears quarterback that has had 4,000 yards in a game or in a season. Sorry about that. So don't think that Justin Fields is always going to break that. You guys are the team where quarterbacks go to die. All right, Ronbo. See you.
Good night, Eric. One thing about us, we take a lot of flack, but we have the ability to be obnoxious and rude, and just like not to the level the Rams and Raiders fans can be, we throw out intelligent digs. You know what I mean? We get stats and numbers, so there's nothing you can say. I'm proud of you guys like you wouldn't believe. Oh, there he is. It's Tony Nagatani. Tony, come in here.
Aloha, Ronbo. How are you, man?
No, I'm Tony Green. I tell you, man, I was dragging around doing chores, and you get stuck in your grind, and then I started talking 49ers football. All of a sudden, I just feel like I've been drinking or doing something crazy. I'm just loving it, man. And seeing you just adds to a tea.
Mahalo. I know. I haven't been calling in a little bit. I've been super duper busy, but I figured it's Thursday. Yeah. Oh, well, I haven't been missing. Well, I've been missing a lot, though. I think I've been missing a lot of your show because I haven't been watching as much as I usually do. But it is that time.
It's off season.
In the season.
It's okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, Tony, we're looking at the fact that Deebo they're going to be continuing to play hardball, and the silence making you crazy? We're not getting a smidgen of anything coming from any reporters or anything other than little speculations in there. Well, Deebo's expected to ask for a shorter-term deal because he may want to add longevity to his career, which is one of the reasons why, as Ian Rappaport said, he does not want to be a wide back any further. So, Tony, shed some light on that, and what are you thinking?
Well, I think it's really interesting that this Deebo, report about him still not rescinding the trade request happened right after, the news about Jimmy G almost being ready to throw, almost as if Deebo doesn't want Jimmy G's news to sort of take the emphasis off of the real deal that has to get done. I think this is all. I've been saying this for months now. Before the draft, when Deebo didn't get traded, this is all PR bluster. Deebo deserves to get paid. Deebo will get paid. And it's only a matter of time as to when. The Terry McLaurin deal sort of gives you the blueprint as to, actually not just the blueprint, but there's been a lot of big money wide receiver deals that have happened this offseason. So we can sort of see what neighborhood that Deebo will get paid, and he's going to be worth every single penny of that. I'm just hoping he does more than a 4-year deal. I hope we get him for a 5-year extension, and not just a 5-year extension. So the final year of his rookie deal plus 5. And you know what? And remember this: if that's a 5-year deal, we're looking at it over a $100 million contract for Deebo Samuel there. So I think that's ultimately what we're going to be looking at coming up.
Tony, you're involved in the negotiations, aren't you? That's ideally what the 49ers would like to have.
Well, it's security for Deebo Samuel. I mean, he overnight becomes an exceedingly wealthy individual, and that can't. You get that headline too, $100 million deal, and for the time at least, it probably they'll be able to finagle the details similarly to how they finagle the details with Trent Williams to say he is the highest paid offensive weapon certainly in the NFL. And I think you check all those boxes, you get the PR. Deebo Samuel's camp comes out looking like they played it right. The 49ers come out looking great because they've extended their all-pro, wide receiver, and we're ready to start the season. We're ready to start the season. Deebo goes
Tony,
to camp. Yep.
Here's a little spin that might be put in there, though. The 49ers, you know how Parag likes to put in there, there's a certain option at a certain point in the contract where if the 49ers aren't satisfied with your production and performance, they can also back out of the contract. I think this is what Deebo's going to be looking for as they read down through that contract, even if they got something as nice and attractive as that offer you just outlined.
Okay, so let's look at those contracts that we're talking about here. We're talking about Kaepernick's contract. We're talking about Garoppolo's contract, which after a certain period of time turned it into a series of one-year deals. So after a certain number of years were done, the Niners could part ways with the player and basically not be charged for the salary cap, and it could be clean for the team. You look at the deals that have been signed by Jimmy Ward and by George Kittle that they've already begun renegotiating to create the space, and we're seeing the way that the Niners do these team-friendly deals. The exception is Trent Williams. And what happened? Trent Williams got on the phone, called Kyle Shanahan, and said, "Kyle, you better talk to Parag because I'm going to go play for the Chiefs." Kyle called Parag, and then Trent Williams signed at midnight. Deebo Samuel has a relationship with Kyle Shanahan. They really do like each other from everything that I can gather from all the press coverage, the way they talk about each other on a personal level. And I think when push comes to shove, if Deebo's camp does not like something and is going to say, all right, we're going to just do one more year and then become a free agent, I think Kyle Shanahan gets a call. And I think Kyle Shanahan fixes this, and especially with the way that the salary cap is destined to go up with the TV deal looming, the post-COVID cap. This is just going to explode. And looking at it now, it's only going to get more expensive to sign him. So it is in the 49ers' best long-term interest for them to extend him now before that cap number comes out. And the other thing, and I said this before too, I know a lot of people are saying they could sign him without doing anything with Jimmy Garoppolo's deal. I think it also is to the Niners' benefit to part ways with Jimmy, to get that cap space so they can give him more money up front now with that money that they would have paid Jimmy, and give him that money now, as opposed to having to wait a little bit into the contract, is also a sign of good faith for Deebo Samuel. So, all in all, it is a waiting game. It requires us to be patient. Deebo Samuel absolutely deserves to get paid. But I am, when he didn't get drafted or didn't get traded during the draft, he is going to be a 49er for some time. That is my belief, and just the way that the cards look to me right now.
And hopefully that is the case. And sometime soon, this is like an anxiety that hangs over the entire Niner empire. You see that dark cloud up there. The sun's shining all around, but there's that dark cloud up there, the Deebo area, right? You think, wait, come on, Niners. You don't have to make this a policy that we wait until mid-July and August. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
A
lot of this is the social media's doing. I think Deebo's camp has played the cards very well, with the release of the video in Los Angeles and just the back and forths. It really has stoked the fire, and it has kept the fans talking about it. But we as fans, of course, we want to see Deebo Samuel extended. Second round draft pick who was good as a rookie and who had that stellar season last year, redefining positionless football for the NFL. So it's an exciting thing to watch, and he doesn't necessarily play a position. He's going to be playing a lot more wide receiver this year than running back, and as he should, so he can play for a long, long time. But because he is that unicorn, there are very, very few people in the NFL who can do what Deebo Samuel does with the power and the speed and the tenacity that Deebo brings to the table. And so it's all of this befits a player of Deebo Samuel's character and caliber. And I'm just counting down the days till camp, because that to me is when I think this deal is going to get done. Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
And it's a long time, and it's like eternity, especially for the things we're waiting to see develop. And the thing is, Tony, I do see in the heat of the moment during a game, 49ers, right, were maybe struggling just a little bit to move the ball in a very critical game. Because just like Eric just outlined, we've got some games coming up this year that we're going to be sitting on the edge of the seats. And they say, Deebo's going to run over the coach. I know what we talked about before the season. What are you going to say? I'm going to tell you right now, give me the damn ball. And I could see that happening. Deebo's a warrior.
If the playoffs are on the line, If the playoffs are on the line, he will play running back. If the playoffs are on the line, he will return kicks. If the playoffs are on the line, he will go to Kyle Shanahan and say, give me the ball. That is what will happen. But at the same time, the Niners got deeper. They got Ty Davis Price. They got Ray McLeod. They got more versatile. So they're taking the pressure off of him. A lot of people on Twitter and YouTube are saying the exact same thing. The team got deeper to Deebo's benefit. It's going to be better for Deebo's longevity as we go deeper and deeper into the season with 18 games. So it's going to be great.
He's not that only big option, because we got several players that could be big ticket players, and I suspect that they could become that established by mid-season, because I do see this guy Price as being that kind of guy that I can give him the ball 3 yards out and they can't stop him. I looking at his clips like I have been, I say, this guy might be exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, bully ball. It's going to go back to that bully ball thing with, and we're going to get a bigger left guard in Banks. Juszczyk could be on the field, Kittle and Trey, and the backfield. They're going to be bigger and stronger, and they're going to be able to run the ball, hand the ball off on 3rd and 1 to a running back. And I think that's what that move is. Not necessarily to Deebo, but Deebo can pick up a 3rd and 17 as a running back.
Yes,
so
and does it well. Don't let him turn the corner. It could be more than 3rd and 17.
Exactly.
Don't it?
Exactly.
Oh, it's way too much fun. Let's. I'm suspecting I'll be back tomorrow. I can't stand it. All right.
I'll do my best, Ronbo.
If you got
Mahalo
time,
and
I'll
aloha.
understand if you can't, but I'll be looking for you.
Take care.
You too, Tony. Aloha. Yeah. And Harold Mario. Hey, I have high expectations for this Super Bowl roster. Is it playoffs or bust for the 49ers? What is the feeling among Niners fans? Guys, address Harold. Where are we going this year? The only thing that holds you back from really going off on your thinking is you look at the offensive line and you say, because there's nothing else wrong about the rest of the team. Can that offensive line get it done? Because you win and lose games by the performances of your offensive line. A lot of these teams, as I look down through here with the strengths and weaknesses and how their rankings went, it was because of their offensive line. Ours is why we're at 13, because we have no other weaknesses other than that. That's it, Anyway, hey, I'm sorry. Brock O'Neider. Wow. Brock's always ready to start something. Brock, thanks for the contribution. I'm not reading that. But thanks. Shabazz! Give me 2 of them bean pies. I want a fish sandwich. Hey, put a little extra hot sauce in it, because y'all didn't put up enough sauce last time.
Ronbo!
Hey, so we got somebody from Memphis. I wonder, do you know him? What was his name? Can we scroll up to the top? I wonder if Brock knows this individual. Early on the page, way up to the top. Wait. I think you went too far. No, one more. Go up a little bit more. He came in there. Somebody from Memphis. Because you got the Memphis Niners, right? That's the organization you're always yelling at.
Yeah. I'm friends with a few people at the Memphis Empire.
Yeah. There he is. Anthony Baker. Do you know Anthony?
Oh, no, not by probably sight, Ronbo, if I see him.
Name. Because I've not saw Anthony on the chat in a while either, but yeah. But Shabazz, as you know, we're talking about that problem child, Mrs. Samuel's baby boy, and what he's probably wanting, what the 49ers are probably wanting.
You hear me, Ronbo? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. Did you hear what I asked you?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I know him. I would have to see his face.
Oh no, I'm past that now. I was just curious if you know. I want to know your feeling now. Now that Terry McLaurin over in Washington has been paid, he's added to a list of Deebo's. He's watching that list very closely and wondering why his name's not on that list already. Deebo's now. The speculation is Deebo's could probably want to come in and get a short contract because he may want a second payday in this career. That's one of the reasons why he doesn't want to play wide back anymore. So his longevity, and he'll persevere a little longer if he's not getting bam, boom, bam. Deebo took a good solid hit from the left side.
Ronbo, give him $80 million. Give him $80 million, $30 million guaranteed 3-year deal.
$30 million guaranteed.
With team option after the third year. $30 million guaranteed, right?
Well, yeah, but that's what you said.
$30 million guaranteed. $80 million total. 3-year team third-year option. So if he don't keep up the numbers after the next two, the third year we can let him go.
Shabazz, if me and you walked into a negotiation room and you said that, the sweat would be pouring off me. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Because you know what, boy, Deebo's camp, Shabazz, that sounds like a really team-friendly deal, but it doesn't sound like a player-friendly deal. Yeah, Shabazz, explain to me why you do that.
Listen,
I understand what you mean, but I mean, are you gonna do that to Deebo?
Terry McLaurin got $75 million, right?
Was that it?
He got $75 million. Yeah.
What was the guarantee?
The Redskins receiver. The Commanders receiver. He got $75 million. Give Deebo 80, 30 guaranteed, 3-year team third-year option. So if you're not producing and we're not happy with what you want, we gave you 30 guaranteed. Then the other 50 we ain't got to worry about.
Hey, what was McLaurin guaranteed?
I don't know. Now, that I don't know, Ronbo. I'll be telling you a story.
I'm sitting there thinking, if I want Deebo to sign this piece of paper, I'm going to give him 50. Guaranteed. Because
on a 3-year deal? No, Ronbo. No. No.
You think he's okay?
Well,
you're
Deebo's
right.
already, 27 years old?
26. Well, yeah, may as well be.
26? Okay, right, might as well be. No. I mean, it's not like you're 22. We're 8 years ahead of you.
See, that's why.
And then you got to think about this, Ronbo.
And you would be, because I'm too soft.
No, and you got to think about this. We got other people that's got to get paydays. We got Bosa that's got to get a payday. Okay? We got other people. We don't know who's going to show up and show out. We got some key people that may be free agents between Greenlaw and Al Shahir. We got to make a choice or lose them both. They finna lose. Hey, Ronbo. This is going to be a great year of 49er football because you got 2 great linebackers that's going to knock everything in the water. 3. Well, I'm just saying. 2 who's coming up for contract. Oh, yeah. So they're going to play. They're going to play. You know what, to the wall. Okay, I don't know if any kids are listening. I'm trying to be PG-13. But Ronbo, come on, man. Like
I agree.
No, and then we still, as you would say, we still got to pay Mrs. Bosa's baby boy, Nick.
Yeah.
So. No, I'll give Deebo that 80 he wants. 30 guaranteed, team option third year. Now, if him and his agent is that selfish, when you're getting 30 million guaranteed, that's for 2 years. That's not counting everything that comes with it. That's your guarantee. That ain't counting if you got, let's say, give him a 10 million base over the next 2. So that is 50, Ronbo. Yeah. That is 50, right? Yeah. Now that 30 million. That third year, if you ain't done what we wanted in these 2 years, bye, Deebo. Bye, Deebo. Bye.
Shabazz, here's a question then that I want to add to that then. Can we actually do okay without Deebo in this upcoming season?
Ronbo, a lot of 49er faithful get upset with me. We can because we're going to have a lot of – hey, Anthony Lynn is bringing other power running backs to the passing game, and – you're finna see Juan Jennings have a great year, like all the experts are saying. And I think our leading pass receiver outside of Kittle will be Ayuk. Ayuk has a skill set, and everybody going to call me crazy. And go crazy in the chat because they always be murdering me in the chat. I don't care. Ayuk is going to have a season like a Devontae Adams. Ayuk is one of the best route runners, if not the best route runner we have. Ayuk is a route runner. If you go back to that Dallas game, man, he was killing this. But Jimmy wasn't getting him the ball. Trey will get him the ball, man. So I don't know. And you got to think about this. I keep telling everybody this about a quarterback and a receiver. All quarterbacks, no matter what, have their favorite. You just went out of his way to make sure if I'm open and Deebo's open and they're both wide open, I think Trey's going to choose Ayuk. I'm just saying. Don't say I didn't call it.
All right.
Don't say I didn't call it.
Put you down for the Ayuk Trey Lance connection. Deebo Deebo just, you know what? If Deebo ends up looking like wide receiver 2 this year, which I can't imagine that being a pleasant situation for him, there could be problems in the locker room, though. Because he thinks he's WR1.
He is WR1, but just because you WR1, and this was the difference. We're 49er fans, and I'll let go. John Taylor would have been wide receiver number 1 on any damn team in the NFL. Excuse me.
True.
I can't be PG-13.
No, Taylor's
John
bad.
Taylor was a
Boy, that
monster,
boy's-
Ronbo.
Yes, indeed.
John Taylor was a monster, Ronbo. He was a monster. So, hey, I'm sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody got to remove their feelings from the equation. John Taylor would have went on any other team and been wide receiver number 1.
Mm-hmm. Which is why the
If
49ers are
anybody
so
that's
good.
a faithful, right. If anybody's a real faithful that's our age, that's, like I said, older than 40, older than 45, and you seen John Taylor play, John Taylor one game, Ronbo, he had 5 touchdowns in every way you could score him against the Rams. I don't know why everybody forgets that. Remember, he ran one, he caught one, he ran one for a touchdown, he threw one, and he brought a punt home. John Taylor was a monster.
I'm going to tell you.
And nobody knows who he is.
Hey, no, and that's because he got, unfortunately, he was on the same team as Jerry Rice. Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame as well. You know?
He should be. He should be, Ronbo. It's an atrocity. And I think, Ronbo, I want you, before I go, shout out to you, shout out to production, but before I go, I want the rest of the Niner faithful. We need to do something and petition the NFL and Ken, and we need to ask the questions on why John Taylor and why Roger Craig aren't in our Hall of Fame. Those two people should be in the Hall of Fame. Because John Taylor numbers, look them up. I challenge any 49er faithful. His numbers are the same as John Stallworth, and John Taylor's not in the Hall of Fame. But they put Stallworth in
without
one in
hesitation.
the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Without hesitation. But I digress. Shout out to my people in Memphis, like always. Shout out to my man Leon in SoCal. Shout out to you, and as always, I lead with a bang, bang, not a gang.
Always great stuff. Shabazz, I'll be back tomorrow. If you got some time, be looking for you. All right, fam.
All right, Robbo.
There he goes. Shabazz, the spoken one. Hey, there he is. His dog's best friend is Casey. Casey!
Yo, what's shaking, Rumble, man? Shabazz got me YouTubing YouTubing John Taylor, man.
Hey, John Taylor, boy. If you haven't seen, you need to go look at some clips of John Taylor. Jerry Rice got all the love, but John Taylor was one of the biggest reasons why Jerry Rice's career went the way it did. Because 2 threats like that, what is your defense going to do? They're going to get shredded. You got to go one-on-one with those guys. So,
You know, Rumble, I was born in 1991. So I don't remember John Taylor at all, but just watching the YouTube highlights, he kind of reminds me of Deebo, man. He reminds me of like a taller Deebo, maybe a little bit better of a catcher even.
Yeah, Taylor had soft hands. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Deebo is. That's why I told Shabazz a minute ago I couldn't be in the front office because I'd be sitting there and his agent would walk in. Listen, guys, let's end this.
Shabazz really put his.
Did he put his foot down?
Yeah.
Woo, man!
I don't think I haven't heard anyone say 3 years, 80 million.
And 30 million, and 30 million guaranteed, taking to leave it. Because look here, if you start drying up and going all of a sudden wimp on us, we're canceling that contract. Shabazz, I love you, man. I just don't know if that's a good way to negotiate. I'm trying to make you feel good about being a 49er. I don't want to make you mad. Casey, that's the thing. I don't know. When it comes to business, feelings set aside. Do they set feelings aside when they come into those meetings? You can say the wrong thing and piss somebody off. I just get the feeling. I don't know. I wish I could sit in it when they're talking. I want to look at faces. I want to see the emotions if they display any. I want to see body language, If you got Shabazz sitting there saying what he's saying, I want to know what the agent is thinking and what does he look like when he just heard what he just heard.
I learned so much about Shabazz in that phone call. I feel like Rumble. I feel like Shabazz was home when the street lights came on. I feel like he was raised right. Shabazz don't play no games, man.
And also, Shabazz is a big guy. Big guys think different than the average size guy or the smaller guy. They just do.
I just wish they had done 4 years.
Go ahead.
I wish they had done 4 years, $100 million like months ago. I don't know why this team likes to play this whole off season like hype train and stuff. And I don't know. I guess it's the way they work.
Well, blame the 49ers because this is a drama that they could have ended a long time ago. Because every time, Casey, every time you look up, another wide receiver just got signed, right? Every time that happens, and if I see DK Metcalf or anybody else get signed to a multi-year contract of huge money, I say, Niners, you know what? How are you going to do? I just don't know. What do you say to Deebo now? That's what I don't get.
But Rumble, maybe Jed and Parag know something that we don't.
Apparently.
Maybe they still remember that Jeff Wilson tore his meniscus eating his lunch. You know, maybe they're trying to really wait until the final week of preseason or whatever it is. They're trying to make sure their money is not going to go. You know,
I hadn't
it's not
thought
going to
of
be
that
affected
angle.
by no chicken Caesar salad. You know,
Yeah. Ooh, because you know what? Oh, Casey's done it. That's right. These big paydays. You don't pay them immediately. He can go out to the parking lot that day, slip on a banana peel that Bugs Bunny happened to be walking by, and he dropped on the sidewalk. Feet flying in the air, comes down, and he breaks a vertebrae, and I already just paid him guaranteed money.
Yeah. All because he was eating his lunch, you know, just at Levi's, you know. They know what's up. It's like ever since they lost their strength and conditioning coach, Mark Uyeyama, it just hasn't been the same.
True. And they fired him because they thought he was doing a bad job. Casey, I think you've nailed it. I think that the smaller money people they pay right away.
If they never left San Francisco, Jalen Hurd is still on this team, Ronbo.
Why do you say that?
Something about Levi's, man.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
There's
I've been
just
saying that for a
something
long
about
time.
Levi's.
People call me superstitious, unnecessarily superstitious. I said, you know what? Ronbo, we used to play there.
And you know
we used to
what?
work out and practice there all the time, which is true. So I had to back off my argument a little bit. But there's something really weird about Levi's. We didn't get hurt like this at Candlestick.
Yeah, and that whole story with Trent Williams, I don't know if that applies because if Trent Williams called me up demanding a bunch of money, I'd probably have to give it to him too. You know, that's a big guy, Ronbo. You don't want to piss off Trent.
You know, and especially he's calling me from Kansas City, let me know. That's the way you do it, though, Casey. If I'm sitting in Kansas City making a phone call, and I can see on the phone he's serious, he is in Kansas City, and he's saying what he's saying, I'm going to believe him. So Kyle worked quickly. Hey, whoa, don't sign anything. Give me a minute. And they got it done. Reminds you of those cartels and the deals they make, you know, when you see those TV shows. Right.
Man, Ronbo, we gave a left tackle $140 million, man. We ain't winning the Super Bowl for the next 5 years, Ronbo. What are we thinking, man? Who are we, the Dallas Cowboys? No, I'm just kidding, man. Trent's worth every penny. Yeah. He really is. He's way better than that left tackle that got $100 million on the Cowboys. Like, Trent really is worth it, you know. But I mean, man, Trent's gonna have to ball out this year, man. Now we moved from D Ford to Jimmy's contract. Now we got Trent's contract. I mean, Trent's not even gonna score a touchdown next year. You know what I'm saying? We're giving him $30 million.
But at least you know that Trent Williams is going to be able to maintain high level play on that left side. I don't know about Aaron Banks
in the playoffs too.
Yeah, the fear is about the right side, and is Jake Brendel going to be able to be anywhere near an Alex Mack? Those are the questions that make a man crazy if you're a 49er fan, man. Oh.
You said Jake Brendel? Is that
I know, right?
Name?
Is that name
ring
a bell?
Never judge a book by his cover, Ronbo. No, but you know, I've never heard of this guy, but just off the bat, that's it. Jake Brendel's got some big shoes to fill.
Especially Kyle
Where do
Shanahan's
they find
offense.
these guys, Ronbo? What is this?
Well, Jake's been around for a couple of years.
Man.
He understands what the program's about, but can he execute it at a level that's going to be efficient enough to call him a San Francisco 49er? Or is he just a backup? Because some guys are lifetime backups. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. No, never heard of him.
Well, we're going to find out. And
I feel like they've been trying to develop their linemen like for the last few years, and it just hasn't popped off. I don't know.
Yeah, well, You know, Child's got a certain kind of offensive system that you can't have the big, lumbering, strong guy. You got to have a guy that's got to be a certain weight. He's got to be big enough, but he's got to be agile. He's got to be fast because the fact that the blocking patterns are a little more sophisticated than the average offensive line or the team scheme. So he's got to get out in space. He's got to do things. He's got to be athletic and strong, and that's hard to find.
Yeah. No, he does. He definitely has probably the fastest team in the NFL. I mean, or he at least aspires to have it. I'd love to see Alvin Kamara come to the 49ers somehow. But, Ronbo, when I think about...
Alvin's good.
Right? Yeah, man.
What made you
Alvin's
think
crazy,
him?
man.
Alvin, him and Deshaun Watson, they may as well start planning for long vacations. Neither one of them are playing next year.
He would fit the Niners so well, man. Like he does this slow motion kind of like run. Sometimes it's just like Le'Veon Bell. Frank Gore
he can run.
Like,
yeah, I agree. He's a good ball player.
But then, Rumble, I look at this schedule. I just like to leave you with this, man. I feel like this year's set up for the Niners, man. Not to sound like but I feel like their schedule's set up good for them. Russell Wilson's out of the NFC West. Now they got at least 2 more wins now.
No,
so,
we got to deal with him with a better team. He's over there with the Broncos, who've got they've almost called that second day the no-fly zone. Patrick Surtain and a couple other guys are just really kicking ass. I'm telling you right now, I really don't want to play any team in the AFC West. Even the friggin' Raiders look scary. Damn. That's right. We're going to survive it, though.
I don't know about all that, Ronbo. I'm just saying that I think this is their. I'm just saying I think this is their year, Ronbo. I mean,
it is their year.
I don't think the Broncos are going to get in their way. I think it's going to be the Niners and the Bengals in the Super Bowl, man.
I'm rolling with you, Case. I'm telling you right now, I agree. I'm gonna stop being scared. Chicken Little is not my name. Yes, I like that.
Man, they got Bosa and Deebo in their prime. This is their year, man. Like,
yes. Scoring points on us ain't going to be nothing easy. You're right. Yeah. Case, I got to go, though. I'll be back tomorrow. All right? Looking for you. And thanks for pumping me back up. And that was great reasoning behind why the 49ers don't pay people. They're worried about if you get hurt before camp even starts. We just gave you a donation for no reason. That's a brilliant case. God, that was good.
Yeah, it's the luck of Levi's, I guess, Ronbo. I don't know. I just hope they go 500 at home. So, all right, man.
All right,
Casey. Hey, Ronbo, take it easy, bud.
You too. Have a great night. Yeah, fam, Casey, I think he nailed it. I think that might be part of the reason. They don't pay. They pay their lower salary players right away. No problem. We don't care about that money. But those guys getting big bucks. Ooh, well, wait a minute. Clarence Molina. He's just taking 4-year, $110 million a year contract for Deebo. Do a $30 million signing bonus. He goes on to say guaranteed, $40 million guaranteed. First year should cap low enough and have money to prepare for Bosa at $32 million a year as well. Mathematically, the 49ers have already went through these numbers, right? And they're looking ahead because they don't wait till the last minute to figure things out. That's why they always have a strategy for making people mad on this team. If you're a big ticket player, yeah, you're going to get paid, but you're going to get paid somewhere between July and August. And Castro 007, Raiders versus 49ers will be the next Super Bowl. I want to get Emilio's. Emilio! Que paso, loco?
Not a damn thing.
I tell you what, Emilio, if the Raiders and the 49ers play, you and me are probably going to get one of the biggest rushes around here because we've been talking. We all know. Well, you know what? Most 49er fans know Raider fans if you live on the West Coast. Because they're everywhere, and they're always talking. So if we could get them in the Super Bowl and beat that ass, our whole world, the sun will be shining even on a rainy day. I'd be calling them up all the time. Yo, you want to talk football? Hey, man, you know what? Don't call me no more. I can just sit down.
No, I don't even need that. We just need to win another Super Bowl and talk about, you guys have how many? Yeah, we have 6. Yeah, damn it, got that.
Double them. Raiders got 3. Double the Raiders' output on tropes.
So I don't even care about playing. That'd be nice, but you know what? That didn't fail. They left the base. So I care less about that. It's not like the A's and Giants when the A's beat the Giants. No, it's not the same anymore. I care less about that.
Oh,
They're just
but
the
Emilio,
winners anyway.
okay, because here we are back at chapter 1 as we started the offseason off with Deebo, and all of a sudden it got quiet, and now here we go, you know, because
I'm
something's got
starting to think he's not going to get paid.
Hey, you know what? I entertained that. Why do you think that? I thought about that. Not only that, but they're just going to say, Deebo, listen, we're going to wait till next year. If you don't want to play this year, that's fine, but we're going to wait till next year.
You know what? That's how I feel. And you know what made me think about that? Because I've been listening to since Eric Davis had the podcast. He called it Believe Podcast. He talked about Believe Podcast. They don't have to pay him.
They don't?
Really don't. They don't.
I know.
They don't have to even pay him at all. They don't have to do nothing. They can say either you go because Eric Davis is talking about he's going to have to play if he wants to get paid.
That's the only way he can get paid. He's got to show somebody he can play.
So he has to play. So they can literally wait 3 years from now to pay him. The one they said they have to pay is Bosa. Bosa is different, which I told you before. I'd rather pay Bosa over him. Bosa is more valuable. Because we can win games without Deebo.
You know what?
Deebo just did what he did.
I think most people would agree with that. Even reluctantly, if people had to make a choice between Nick and Deebo,
people don't disagree with
I think
me
they
a
would take
whole lot
Deebo.
already with that.
Really? I think if you get everybody
I would
voted
take
though,
Bosa.
I think
Me,
Nick would win.
Bosa over Deebo. We can win. I didn't say we can win without Deebo. The only reason we use Deebo the way we use is because of Raheem. And Raheem's off the team. And that was the reason why. Because Raheem was hurt, injury-prone running back. I'm glad he's gone. As much as he did for this team, for me, I'm glad he's gone.
Mostert?
He kept getting hurt.
Yeah. Usually your best players always seem to have that problem. George is not going to play 17 games next year. You know?
Yeah. Like I said, I just looked at it because I compared Raheem to Gore. Gore, he got hurt every year, but he was able to give you 1,000 yards every
I know, Frank.
as long as he wanted to.
You couldn't make him.
Raheem couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Raheem only gave you one good year. One good year. Out of the 3-4 he was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, Gore got hurt every year, and he still gave you 1,000 yards. I said, as much as he was good, I said, I can't deal with that. I can't go wrong with that. I'm like, come on now.
That's why Elijah Mitchell, you got to be a fan of Elijah Mitchell because that dude, I know Elijah Mitchell was playing hurt all last year. Like he keeps on going though, somehow.
That's good. He's baby Gore. That's like, hey, dude, as long as you can produce and give me 1,000 yards, I'm good with it. You can get hurt every year. Just give me those 1,000 yards. So when you like one good season and after that you crap out, you're no good. You're not worth it. You don't need to be on the team. Why are you on the team? Everybody talking about, I'm going to say that he's gone. Man, forget that. Look at this. You got to compare him to other players.
Well, he's giving you a lot of them. Debo's giving you a lot of them hell yeah moments, and you have to look yourself for that now. It's a little. How we gonna be?
If I was talking, if I was talking about John Taylor, right? I said, okay, if it wasn't for John Taylor, we wouldn't have Jerry Rice. Now you look at Jerry Rice, you look at T.O. If it wasn't for Jerry Rice, we would have T.O. So now I'm looking at if it ain't for Deebo, I really think Ayuk is gonna have a breakout year. So just look at that. I'm waiting for that. If that happens, man, they can get rid of Deebo. All we need is one good ass year out of Deebo, and you be like, Deebo who? Deebo's only had one good year out of the 3 he's been there. I like Deebo. I'm a Deebo fan. But can you do that again? If you do that again, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. He's getting paid. Not this year. If he does, I hope it works out for the Niners. If it doesn't, they're going to be like, damn, what do? We're going to run into another D4 situation? Then we're going to find out, how do we get rid of him? Now we're going to add attention payments. So I'm all for the players getting paid. But if that happens with D4 again, you're going to be like, damn, what did we get ourselves into? Now we already do all this money, and he's on the roster. So
It is scary
I don't have a problem with
giving that kind of check up to a player that has been hurt a lot and missed a season being hurt. And can he get hurt at any time? His running style is really scary. Deebo's going to get hurt. How serious is the question? So,
To me,
I don't
to
know.
me, the only reason that you couldn't do what he did, I partially blame Jimmy for it. Partially. Because Jimmy should have given him the ball when he was open. So now we're going to have Ayuk, and Ayuk has been working with Trey. Let's see what we can take what Ayuk can do. And if Ayuk balls with Trey, we're going to say Deebo who? Oh, man, a whole bunch of them might say, man, we might as well keep Ayuk over Deebo.
Ayuk is a better route runner for sure. Deebo's all about that hammer. As soon as he gets the ball, if you're standing in front of him, you're going to get hurt.
You know, partially me, I think Deebo is nervous of Ayuk.
Could be.
Deebo should have been working with Ayuk. Should have been trying to get the chemistry going. And if Ayuk and Trey have a hell of a chemistry, and they start balling out, Deebo's gonna be nervous on that sideline. Like, hey, what am I gonna do? I didn't do what I needed to do. I should have been working with other guys. But hey, I actually want to wait another year to pay this man.
Yeah. Because
he better pan out.
yeah. Because, it is interesting to see because with Jimmy, Kyle, and Deebo, it was understood that Deebo was the man. People think, like you're saying, you think he just wasn't throwing Ayuk or just missing him. He had Ayuk had, damn near 700 yards. So here's the thing. It's if Deebo's not there, Ayuk immediately becomes the guy. So, it is going to be interesting to see.
And you also got to, the other thing you got to think about, Deebo only had 6 receiving touchdowns. 3 of those came from Trey. So what does that say? So half your production came from Trey.
Yeah, because the kind of offense that they were running with Deebo is get him out there, let him take an advantage
of the linebackers. To me, it was only because Raheem wasn't there, and they needed an extra running back. And
not only that,
was hurt.
Deebo was just extending the run game. All right, he'd go out there a few yards and wait for the ball, and that was the 49ers. That was 49ers football. Beat up anybody out in the way. George Kittle, Deebo, Ayuk to a small degree, but not as much as Deebo and George. They could give them the football 5 yards up beyond the line of scrimmage, and they was going to get you 30, 40 yards. That's what they dialed up that on purpose.
Well,
it wasn't the only
option.
option. It was just what they did on purpose.
Also think about Deebo did what Jalen Hurts was supposed to do, run the ball. That's the other thing.
They were going to use Hurts the same way. Because that's written and documented.
So he was doing what Deebo was doing.
Yeah. Hurd was going to do the same thing. They were going to get him out there in the slot and let him take advantage of the linebackers, one-on-one the linebackers, and take them apart. That was Shanahan's whole MO for the last 2 years.
That's why I say Deebo is replaceable. Whether you think so or not, he is replaceable.
And he's perfect for that kind of football.
We had other players on the roster that could do what he was doing. They just didn't use them. To me, if Jalen Hurts was 100%, he would have been used over Deebo, doing what he did.
And then Deebo wouldn't be. It'll be interesting how if they took that role away from Deebo, would it be? Because you're right. Kyle even said it. He was going to use Deebo. I mean, on Jalen Hurts exactly the way he's using Deebo. Actually, from what I read earlier, last 2 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, hey, we got to go, Emilio. Let you get back to work. I'll tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow.
All right, you have a good night. I'll try to come back down there tomorrow.
I hope so. I'm looking for you.
I'm just glad the Warriors won they 7 championships. I still wait on the Niners to win that 6. So I'm like, God damn, can y'all win that 6 one?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I think the Warriors win 4.
That's going to be tough because teams are getting rough next year. But as long as Draymond is out there talking trash that he needs to back up, they should be tough. Draymond is.
I was at the parade on that last week. I need to be at a Niner one. I was like, come on, now y'all playing. I need to be at a Niner parade.
It's just like they said about. It's just like the write-up now is, wouldn't it be nice if you could put cornerbacks in the 49ers secondary like Gary Payton Jr.?
Yeah, good play, Jr.
All right, Emilio.
Be something we need to figure it out. Because I know if we win, I'm going to that parade. I just need that to happen.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right.
And there is, without any further ado, it's Papa Dragon. Pop.
Ronbo!
Pop.
What's happening, man?
Pop, it's funny. We've had, this is why I love having these conversations, because we've had like people who said Deebo can hush and he ain't got to get paid, but Shabazz is still ringing in my ears. Look, offer Deebo this, give him $30 million, and so if he don't look good after a year, we can set his butt out in somewhere else, but he ain't got to stay here. I'm laughing. Pop. Do we appreciate Deebo? Do you appreciate Deebo, or is this just business?
Well, it's a little bit of both, really, right? So,
yeah.
I think the main thing is, last year, Deebo basically put the team on his back and almost willed us to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. And here's the telltale of everything. The telltale of everything is that sometimes you get put in a situation where you feel you should be compensated, but boss man says no. And that's why they're the boss, and that's why you're the worker.
Mm.
So you gotta be very, very careful in today's world, because you can do 1,000 wonderful things for a company and screw up just once and lose your job.
It's a cruel truth, ain't it?
Just a cruel truth. So that's why that's where you get the business side of things. Honestly, there are a couple of points where I wish the 49ers were still owned by Eddie DeBartolo. One was, as soon as that receiver hit 1,000 yards in 8 games, and then he started carrying the rock and tearing everything up, and clearly he was all pro. Clearly he's one of the top 3 offensive players in the league last year. Just think about it. If they would have signed him last year in the middle of the season, it would have cost them about $18-20 million per year.
Yep.
With about $25-30 million guaranteed.
But he'd still be moaning and groaning. He'd be moaning and groaning now, especially if in the middle of the season and he went on.
He would moan and groan, but it's one of those situations where you're just like, bitch, I got you. You signed it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that's 8 months later. Now, the other situation is that contract could have influenced the contracts that came after him.
Instead of what's his name over, what's that kid that got paid first to set all this stuff in motion?
Yeah, Devontae. Oh, no, not that guy. The guy from the Cardinals.
Yes, that's got things started. He was overpaid.
Yeah. So, a lot of things got started after that point. That kind of set the market, and the market was a lot higher than anybody anticipated. So, honestly, most of that stuff, to me, that's just on the Yorks. The Yorks, like I say, they run a business the way they run a business, and they don't pay their players until August. So that's on them, and it winds up costing them more money, because everybody they have paid or everybody they have extended has not played up to the contract that they signed. They're kind of like
that's true, isn't it? And George Kittle. Even Fred fell off a little bit.
I know.
Pop, before you go any further, I just want to ask you this, though. That point that Casey brought up about waiting until the last minute to pay the big money people, do you think it has anything to do with concerns about their health between now and opening day?
No, I don't, because you build all type of contingencies and clauses in a contract. These contracts are very long. So it's like those contracts that flat out tell you can't play basketball, and, period. You can't do this. You can't golf with your feet. There's all kinds.
I heard you got to have at least 2 Boston lawyers to go down through that contract with a fine-tooth comb to find some of the things
I have flipped through there, and I can't believe the stuff that they put in there. There's a lot of contingencies for the team. Contracts, no matter what people say, are always team friendly, because they can cut a player anytime. They can trade you at any time. Do you see what I'm saying? It is literally, it's like, it's high priced. I'm not even gonna say the word, but it's high priced.
I know.
It's
too political and controversial. Don't do it.
But I'm not gonna do it. I think ultimately, I think that the thing that's gonna change, that changes the game today, is the guaranteed money.
Yeah,
that's what changed the game. It's not the length of the contract.
And that works in the player's favor a little bit more so than it does the ownership. Because if I get a $30-40 million guarantee, I need my money right now, or my money paid up front, something. But I need to be able to. I need to have something substantial to hold on to feel like I'm not getting jobbed. You know?
No, they're going to give you a signing bonus. They're going to give you that. But what a guarantee does, it just means that the team is still paying you for a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
So let's say your contract's for 3 years, and the clause of the contract says, well, if you get injured, we still pay your guarantee, but we pay it over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they work it.
And if you want to do it that way, but you still go pay it.
Right. And another thing too about where football players get shafted is that literally 5 years after a player plays, right? There's two things going to happen to them, especially if they're a great player. One, they'll get consideration for the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing that happens to them is not so pleasant. They lose health insurance from the NFL. Now, you try to go find health insurance
for a football player
when you played 10 years on a football field. There's no insurance company going to be eager to sign you to an insurance plan.
Unless you're paying a $1,000 a month premium.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be more than that. So football players, they put a lot on the line to entertain us. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, these football players, they have multiple mortgages. They have people to take care of. They're trying to pass down generational wealth. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of things that go on, and most of these guys don't know how to deal with money. Yeah. They just don't. They prove it. And I guarantee you, Deebo falls in that category because homeboy is putting up shirts called wide back, thinking that was a selling point for him. And the minute that negotiations didn't happen for Mr. Wideback, I'm not going to run the ball no more.
Yeah,
which is fine, but that's not coming from a football player. That's coming from a person who thought that he was going to get $30 million a year. He thought he was going to get 30. I guarantee he thought he was going to get 30.
You believe he thought 30? Damn.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But Pop, at the same time, I'm telling you some of the duties that I want taken off of my business card, but I need to get 30 million. I don't know how he could think like that.
No. What I'm trying to tell you is that things changed after after they had that dinner that night. It changed. So he thought that the 49ers were going to reward him for carrying him to the promised land as the hottest player in the league. Everyone's talking about how much of an X factor he was. And he heard it. He heard everybody talking about him. Mm-hmm. He was 3rd and 7. Mm-hmm. Jimmy dropping back to throws. He dropping back to hand the ball to Deebo. Mm-hmm. He's dropping back to hand the ball to Deebo. And then Deebo goes and gets you 8 yards in the 3rd and 7.
Or more.
Okay, that's dominant football is what that is. That's dominance. He is a dominating player. He is probably maybe 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds away from most linebackers in NFL size. So he's like a 220-pound guy. Mm-hmm. And he's fast. Mm-hmm. He's got big legs. He's got a big butt. He's built like a running back. Mm-hmm. But his thing is, if you're not going to pay me like a top player in the league, then I ain't running the ball. I get what he's saying. So what he has become, in essence, is a disgruntled employee is what he's become. Now, once you're disgruntled, the only way to get out of that is to pay him some money. So they're going to have to give him somewhere pretty close to whatever the highest guarantee was. He's going to have to get that.
Wait, Tyreek Hill money?
Well, what I'm saying is that it's got to be up there. And the reason why it has to be up there for the guaranteed money is because, again, it got nasty between both sides. And more importantly, it got nasty on his side. Right? So because it got nasty and there was a bunch of stuff out there in the public, both sides want to save face. Both sides do. And trust me, your ego gets bruised during draft time when you think you're worth a whole bunch of draft picks and the Jets throw, I don't know what they threw like a really insulting offer at the 49ers and they didn't take it. Yeah. And remember, put it in perspective. They offered the 4. I think the 49ers, they offered him a 10 and a 3 or a 4. The 10th overall pick and a 3rd, I think, they offered the 49ers. And remember, the 49ers is a team with no first-round draft pick for the next couple of years. And they didn't take that. So it's
that,
one of those things. Go ahead.
That means they really do want him to stay in a red and gold uniform. So, you know.
Yes, and I think he would have moved if they would have gave up the 4th and 3rd.
Well,
they would have done that, then the 49ers would think, okay, we're going to get a starter from this particular pick.
Yeah, you think so? Because, well, Pop, always a pleasure. Let's do this again tomorrow, please, and don't be late, because I'll be looking for you, Pop. All right.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
Shout out to production. Shout out to the Niner faithful.
And shout out to Bam Boom and that fabulous lady of yours. And y'all have a great night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thanks, Pop. Yes, indeed. You see, these are eye-opening things. This is like expands your mind about the 49ers. We've had perspectives tonight on Deebo's situation. You just can't, you watch NFL analysts and Acho and the guys, Stephen A. They don't know about the 49ers like we do. They don't. It's just because they cover a lot of different things, but they don't know that. They don't know the 49ers.
They don't know about anything.
Hey, Edmund.
Ronbo.
Edmund, man, listen and look at the Deebo situation, man. Edmund, is Deebo going to play for the 49ers this year?
There was never a doubt in my mind, Ronbo. Like I try to tell people all the time, and they continuously get fooled. Don't look at the media. Don't believe anything they say. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Okay? Until it happens, you can't believe anything the media, because in the media, Ronbo, as you know, you got a whole bunch of sources this and reports that, and they're trying to convince you that they know something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're trying to convince you that they know something or something. Now, just to prove this, all right? So, Ronbo, 3 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? We heard every report about Jimmy Garoppolo you could possibly hear. We heard this team was going to trade for him. We heard he was going to get cut. We heard the 49ers were going to keep him. Bro. And what's happened?
Still hanging out.
So it's like you can't hang on a whim of what the media says. You can't with anything. So, and you just said it. You said they don't know the 49ers like we do.
Edmund, can you imagine, though, okay, they offer you a job. Edmund, we're going to give you $2.5 million a year. If you can keep the audience out there engaged. Now, this is going to you have to rely upon your own devices on this. You're going to have to come up with material that you know is going to actually have an impact on the minds of football fans. Now, most of it's not going to be true. You can use the unnamed sources trick. You can use this gag. You can use that. But you have got to be able to sell imaginations. Could you, there are some things, if I think about it, if I sat down and I really, really wanted to put things out there that I thought might get a bite, that might be actually fun. Edmund, I think what you're saying is exactly what I'm thinking. These people are novel writers. They write science fiction. They come up with things that they know the public wants to hear, or they know what's going to pull at your heartstrings, or they just mess with your emotions. So it works. And I have to say I'm impressed for that reason, because sometimes they hit a nerve. Well, I should say every day they hit a nerve. Somebody does if I keep reading them all like I do.
That's 100% right. I didn't think about it like that. They have a story to tell, right? Yeah.
They don't know nothing.
Yeah,
those unnamed sources, they don't exist.
No, they don't. Like it's like I subscribe to The Athletic, right? And the funniest thing to me is always when they'll be like whenever there's a championship round, whether it's the NBA or the Super Bowl or NHL, right? They'll be like, literally the title of their story will be "Anonymous GMs and Coaches Pick the Final." God. And you like, wait a minute.
Because if I had some really solid sources, I would tell you. their names. I would tell you
Right.
Belichick is choosing. I would tell you that this guy is choosing. As Carol said, because I would tell you every coach that I knew, my anonymous source doesn't need to remain anonymous. I'll tell you. And then you can find out from them, and they can admit it or not. I'd be delighted.
And Ronbo, the sad part is most of the GMs and coaches get fired within a few years anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hanging your hat on what they think, don't. Because most of them, I mean, let's be honest, there's more bad teams than good teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the middle teams, you would say, are probably more closer to bad than good, right?
Yep.
So there's more bad teams than good teams. So these anonymous GMs and so, man, they ain't asking the Kansas City Chiefs GM what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Okay, they're asking the New York Jets guy. They're asking the Miami Dolphins guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So it's like
retired coaches, people who aren't even playing anymore.
Right, exactly. Bill Parcells.
Yeah. And they had to pay him to get him to say that,
Exactly. But I'll just say this one thing, Ronbo. I saw one of your titles was, what's the 49ers' strengths and weaknesses? And the strength, I think, is the roster construction. Like the way Shanahan and Lynch have built this roster is that we don't have glaring weaknesses. Now, we got weaknesses. Every team has weaknesses.
But
they're not glaring.
Kill you.
Even our
weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. Even our center who retired, we had a plan in place for if that was going to happen. That's why the 49ers have this kind of roster. That's why we can go deep when we're healthy-ish every year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also the weakness. The weakness is health.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get our starting 22 from week 1 to the playoffs?
17, yeah.
Can we please? Like that's the whole thing. Like that's literally everything, right? Because we know
It's attrition.
even if you look at it and say Jimmy, I'm not gonna say if he'd stayed healthy, we'd have had a first round bye, but I don't think we would have had to beat the Rams in the last week of the season, right?
Yeah.
So he played through a lot of stuff. A lot of people played through a lot of stuff. So I just want us to be healthy, and that seems to be the age-old question with the 49ers. I don't know if they got your cousins on the training staff, Ronbo, but they need to fire them because all I'm watching is us. We can't last we don't have a full team for more than 4 weeks at a time.
Ever. Really, since Kyle Shannon's gotten there, this is every year. The wrong guys are going down.
Yep. Always the most important guy.
Always. It's like I like Dante Johnson. I don't want to keep using him for an example. I like Dante Johnson now more than ever. But I say, you know what? I'll see Kittle go down. I'll see Jason Verrett go down. But you can bet at the end of the season, Dante Johnson will be on his way to the Bahamas, and he'll be walking. Is he well as he was as the season started? And the guys that it's just bad luck.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, so I'm gonna say this. I do find it strange, okay, that when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs in the 4 years that Patrick Mahomes has started, they've gone deeper than any other team every single year, and they literally have had no injuries. So their injuries have been like 1 game, 2 games, and yet we went deep 1 year, and everybody just consistently on the show. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think the league looks at it and says, who's going to make us more money, the 49ers or the Chiefs? And I'm not saying they pick us out. I'm just saying those teams seem to, for some reason, they stay healthy. Therefore, they can keep going deeper into the playoffs. Magically, we don't. I don't think it's just training staff. I don't think it's just that our players are doing something wrong here. There's something up with that.
Because
that
why
not be a coincidence?
Right? Why us all the time? I can see every now and then, but all the time, every year. Oh,
right. and consider we don't run our team like the Cowboys. So Jerry's got his cousins, his uncles, his nieces, his nephews on his training staff. That's why they're always hurt. The 49ers don't run their team like that. So that's why I'm sitting here like it can't just be the player.
Yeah.
But that's a little more far out thinking. Not a few in the league.
No,
Just saying. I do find that
I don't doubt anything. I'd like to look at it further, actually. But we got to go now. All right, Evan, it's good to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a long time. How you been doing? Everything all right?
Yeah, man. I've been good, man. I've been good. Just wading the waters of life, man. You know how it is.
I know what that's like. If you got time, Evan, I'll be back tomorrow. Let's talk some more.
All right, man.
All right, fam.
For sure.
Have a great night.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Evan in a long time. Hey, yo, Elvis! Ellis, it's interesting. Well, actually, I've been here for a little while now. Yeah, go ahead. You know I need to come back? You tied up?
If you can, yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. I was about to accuse Ellis of bringing the Rams fans with him. Oh, they've been here for the last 15 or 20 minutes, haven't they? I just looked up there and I saw Rudy come in. Marketing Pro has arrived. Hey, maybe they came in with Bethel. Hey, Bethel! Bethel!
No, they're not coming in with me, Ronbo.
Because how did they get past the door? I mean, that's a code. Somebody had to let them in. God. Anyway.
They probably paid somebody at the door. They're like, hey, here. You know?
Bethel, here we are. The Deebo situation is coming back, and now everybody figures like it's going to happen between now and in the next 3 weeks, because we got to get back to camp and get busy, get serious down to work. So George Kittle said, from what George Kittle said a couple of weeks ago, Deebo's supposed to be signing next week. From George Kittle's, I know it was over a week at least. This is, next week's a good week, according to George.
I actually called that out when
he first said it.
He also said that if that he didn't like how he was approaching the way he did it, but and he also said if you hear it right, he also said we don't really need you. If you want to go get your money somewhere else, you could go get your money somewhere else. We don't really need you. Because when you put a player that you're like, oh, I really need him, I really he has to stay here or else we can't go nowhere, we can't do nothing, that's when you lose everything. Because you cannot have just one player dictate how the team is gonna go.
Yeah, and because if you do, you're gonna end up losing the game because no one guy is gonna take you all the way to the promised land. That's a good point. You know what though? They never think like that though, Bethel. Deebo, I don't know. I really wish, honestly, I really want to know what he's thinking. Is he thinking, I just need to get paid? I'm here to do my job, but I never told anybody it was all about me. I think he's just. I think this is. I don't think he's. You think he's like that?
You don't know because
it's true.
We don't really talk about. We're not right there with Deebo. We don't know. His mindset. You don't know anything. The one that's really loving everything is his agent, because his agent is balling. He's getting a lot of money off these agents.
Oh yeah, agents make money. That's what they do.
He's the one that's balling out. So he's the one that's making the most money out of everybody. And one thing is that number 17 from the Commanders.
Terry
he's actually
McLaurin.
A really good player. He has really good hands. He hardly drops the ball, so, and he didn't get a lot of money, so, that, gives you the amount of, what they might give Deebo, what amount of money they might give Deebo.
But you know what, Bethel?
And it gives you a point.
The thing is, I bet we're going to be really shocked at what Deebo gets paid. I thought George Kittle's, remember they said George Kittle is more, you cannot look at him just as a tight end, and that you need to pay him more as a dual presence out there. He got paid pretty well. I was kind of surprised at what the 49ers paid him. At the same time, I still thought he was underpaid. So our players, from what we said,
you could do something. You could do something with Deebo where you can make it where incentives where okay, if you run for 800 yards or you run for 500 yards more, you get a little bonus off of getting that incentive. If you want to get paid for doing that in the side, then make a mark, like put a mark like 800 yards or 1,000 yards, or if you think you could hit that and you want to get used like that, if you want to reach that, then put a little goal.
This is what you
on the side.
And Bethel, if it was up to me, and I was sitting in the front office, I'd have base salaries for the most part for my stars to reach the stars. All right, I'm giving you this amount, but here, as I slide that over to them, is what you'll make if you make all these goals. You're going to get paid like you wouldn't believe. Hell, I'll have to borrow money from you. Because now I got my players in a mindset where they're going to play out of their minds because that's a dangling carrot, right? I don't know what they talk about in those deals, but if a player believes in himself, I think they'd go for those kind of deals.
Yeah, and then I was looking at that. There was putting about Deebo and then about Nick. I'm all like, the difference between Nick is that he just got to go get quarterbacks and he had to erupt the quarterback. You know what you're getting with Nick, and then plus, that's why a lot of people like to be a first round pick because you get all this money.
Yeah.
And when you want to get these deals done, you get a good amount of money. If you're second round pick, down, you don't get a lot of money. So,
Bethel, here's the deal. I'm looking at Harold Murillo has a deal out that involves both Jimmy and Nick and trade them both. What do you think we get back in return?
I would not trade Nick only because the edge is really important.
Not Nick, Deebo and Jimmy.
No.
You know what? Here's the thing. That team in Cleveland, it's not going to happen because Cleveland's not wanting to spend that kind of money.
No.
They got Deshaun coming up in a year. They're not about to spend huge money. But here's the thing. With that team, they got a dual running back. Oh, they got a run game. And they got a good defense. Jimmy would clean house in Cleveland. But Cleveland has got Deshaun Watson coming next year.
Where Cleveland messed up at? Where Cleveland messed up is when they gave that big money to
Deshaun?
Watson. Yeah. All these women seen how much money they got. So hey, I want some of that money. So all these women started coming out. That's what Cleveland messed up. They should have done it after it was done.
Bethel, you're so right. You know what? Done. Because all of a sudden, a certain number of women settled. They settled. Yeah. That means to me that you did it, Deshaun. You did everything they said you did. And even if you didn't, why did you stand on your principles and say, look, they're lying? Then go ahead and fight. But here's the thing. Yeah. He paid them all, and he's got 4 women that are still holding out. A couple of them decided, I'm not going to, they're going to continue that, and they're going to be they got everybody's sympathy on the planet. And Deshaun Watson's not playing football. Bethel, if I had to bet, he doesn't play football next year either. You know why? This is going to litigate and go into next spring and beyond. And the NFL's going to say, listen, Deshaun, we don't know what to tell you, but you're not, you're a PR nightmare, man. We can't put you out on the field. Whoa. Anyway.
Yeah, so.
Well, we ventured off our own subject, but yeah. The thing is, though, are you going to sign Deebo? Or are you going to let him sit because he has no choice?
I'll sign him if he gives a decent deal, and put those incentives, and if you meet him and you hit him, then you get your money.
Yeah,
easy
I like
as that.
I'm
because
a big
the thing
fan
is
of that.
And he thinks if he's not going to reach that, it's probably because Trey Lance is going to spread the ball around, give the ball around. And then plus we have these running backs that he could fake the ball and run it, or he could give it to them.
But you know what?
So the
Deebo won't
defense
care.
is gonna be up in their heels.
Deebo won't care as long as he gets paid. Yeah, I got a feeling Deebo won't mind. Okay, y'all, you guys decide that I'm not the man anymore. That's fine. I already got paid. Bethel, we got to go, though. It's all about the money with these guys. It's huge money, Bethel. I don't know if we'd act any different. So, anyway.
All right, before we go, there was something that you guys were calling out, you and Big Show, about wrestling. And on Sunday, I was watching EAW. There were really good matches. So if you want to watch something, EAW has some good wrestling.
Ooh, because you know what? I want to hear some. Do they talk trash? See, wrestlers talking trash is what I like,
Yeah,
too.
they do.
Oh, God, yes.
They
all
do.
Thanks, Bethel, for the heads up
All
on
right,
that.
Rumble.
See you tomorrow.
All right, Rumble. Like always, good show.
Thanks, fam.
Punch the like, and let's go nice.
Yeah. Night, fam.
Good
There
night,
goes
Rumble.
Bethel. And I agree with Bethel. You stop making these guys, they can pay for incentives. Give them a decent salary so they want to play, but give them something to go for. Put that dangling carrot out there and stop with all these fighting and childish arguments every damned year. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo. What's happening, brother?
Tony, we're sitting back as people will get paid human amounts of money. And we're complaining about the guys that are getting paid inordinate amounts of money. And, the thing is, we like to make judgments on them. Tony, the more I think about it, we're out of line, aren't we? Hey, but the money comes from those of us who support that team, so I guess we should have something to say. Tony, I think your signal's broken. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, back.
But anyway, we're.
I'm on the move. You're stationary.
Yeah. So that's it. Tony, normally
I'm on my way home.
Oh, okay. Because normally you got a powerful signal. So it's
most of the time I call you from home. And,
okay. Right. It's still
I'm
clear.
not moving, but this time I'm on my way home. Should be all right now.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear you going home. That's going to feel good.
Yeah, what were you saying about Deebo, Ronbo?
Yeah, we were talking about Deebo and what we're expecting because, Terry McLaurin over in Washington just got paid to add to the list of guys. They're getting paid ahead of Deebo, and I know he's, running through the house, running through walls, and his lady said, "Oh, Deebo, look what you broke. How much? Look, just be quiet." I can see him going nuts, at home. And every time somebody gets signed, he doesn't say anything, publicly anymore. But another name's been added to the list of people who got paid, and Deebo hasn't. And we got 3 weeks to go before camp opens. And the Niners have decided, for reasons beyond anybody's imagination, as to why they haven't paid him or even want to talk to. And then Eric Davis is saying the 49ers don't have to pay Deebo Samuel. They can sit and let him just roast in his own juices because he started this fire. Let him cook. Because the thing is, if he doesn't want to play this year, how's he going to sell himself for next year if he wants to walk next year? It's a very scary thing. Would the 49ers play that kind of hardball with him? I can't imagine that, though. I mean, can you see that happening?
I think. Have you ever seen Eddie Murphy Raw when he talks about the ice cream man when you're a little kid, when the ice cream man comes to town and you're running behind the ice cream truck going, "Ice cream, ice cream," and he goes, "I knew the mofo was like, watch me how fast I make these motherfuckers run." And then he pulls over.
That's the 49ers organization. They're the ice cream man. They got Deebo running behind them.
That's what they're doing at Deebo. They're going, don't worry, let him go. A little bit more.
Tony, I would have never guessed you watch those skits.
There's probably people in the background going, "Come on, man, sign the poor kid, put him out of his misery." And the other dudes are like, "No, let him just go a bit more."
Tony, I read some things. Sometimes I cringe on Instagram and other places. But we don't need him. If Deebo don't want to play, get the hell up out of here. I'm saying, man, y'all don't understand, do you? It's like somebody else pointed out a little while ago. Actually, Pop pointed out, those guys play a game of extreme violence. They could be done playing after 1 week of football this coming season. They have to fight for every dime they can get. And I whether I appreciate it or not, I understand it.
Look, Ronbo, we all know the modern day slavery is working for the dollar. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Football, to me, is like the Colosseum back in the days. You know,
Spartacus and company.
Slavery.
Yep.
It's slavery for the emperor. So I don't begrudge them getting their money. You know, that if they can create generational wealth from what they're doing. I mean, let's face it, not everybody's going to go into the Colosseum and fight. You got to have big kahunas and you got to have the thing. But in Deebo's case, we've been waiting for people like him for how long? And now all of a sudden you're going to go on social media and say, we don't need him? Bullshit, you don't need him. Of course you need him.
I don't know where people come up with those kind of thoughts. We don't need him? I don't know that we don't need him. I mean, I see he wants to get paid. Maybe that's aggravating for those of us who are getting paid that kind of money. But we do need him.
He has been injured, but twice he's proved. Once in the Super Bowl, he almost dismantled the Chiefs by himself.
If we just would have stayed with him.
Until Kyle decided to take him off. And the same in the, against the Cowboys when he said, give me the ball, Kyle.
Mm-hmm. And he had to go ask for it.
He plays with his heart on his sleeve and he gets his teammates going. He's an asset to the team. Of course you want him. You know, you want him. People feed off his confidence, and these other guys, these new guys, they're going to be blessed to be on the same field as him. And we've got this year of all the years, Ronbo, we've got speed everywhere. We've got depth everywhere.
On both sides of the ball, yes.
On both sides of the ball. We're just hoping that the O-line is what they see we haven't seen, and we're all wrong, and the O-line comes out to be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be a pleasant surprise? Because they're the only thing about this team that I'm concerned with.
Yeah, the depth is there at all positions. And, Trey's on point. We're going to a Super Bowl, you know what I mean? To another Super Bowl. And it's just, I can't wait for the season to start. The only bonus I have over here is when NFL finishes, rugby league starts. So I've got football 12 months of the year. You know what I mean?
That's got to be great, you know?
It is. But still, I look forward to the 49ers season starting. You know, it's like you start getting itchy and you can't wait anymore. And you think, come on, months keep going. Go faster, faster.
Days, we got 3 weeks. Yeah. And we're just talking about practice. We're not talking about the games yet. We still got to go through the month of August. But at least we got some preseason football, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, even when the preseason games come, you're watching someone throwing the ball, something the quarterback's done. That's the first ball being thrown in a match. But I think, I'm excited for this year, and the advantages we've got enormous. I just hope that Kyle rotates the team and keeps them not injured. Stop going with the hot hand all the time with the one player.
I worry about Elijah Mitchell right now. Exactly.
Yeah, we've got enough running backs to rotate to confuse the opposition. You know what I mean? We've got enough receivers to do the same. We've got enough D linemen to rest, so we can have the same ferocity every time they go out on the field.
I think that will be the case. You don't need to have all that talent on the defensive line and have anybody sitting down for any length of time. I would tell those guys before the game starts, stay ready, guys, because everybody's going to play today. I would let them know nobody's going to sit down all day. That's not going to happen, including my rookie Drake.
me and you aren't the coaches, so but we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what? Robert Saleh's whole thing when he first came to us, all gas and no brakes, that was pretty much to assume that there's going to be fresh bodies out there all day, and that's what it should be. Your defense is going to be at its most ferocious when it's rested, you know? So
that's what it should be. And, remember the hot boys? Hot boys.
Yeah, the Cowboys are. I think the Cowboys stopped complaining about that. They said, you know what? We had that name first, and you guys shamelessly, all of a sudden, start calling yourself the damned Hot Boys. You know what? We put 2 Z's on ours. You guys only had 1. You had an S.
The Z's were like lightning bolts, you know.
Exactly. Hey, there's no argument now who has the best linebacking core. Pretty much the NFL pretty much agrees on the 49ers linebacking core could be the best off-ball unit assembled in the NFL. I say, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, so this is going to be a great season as far as defense goes. We know for sure.
I mean, some people might turn around and say you're biased or whatever the case may be. But it's really hard, even from looking at the team with an unbiased eye. It's very hard to pick a weakness in this team.
That's it.
Or on both, like you said, on both sides of the ball.
Except for the offensive line is what you're worried about.
Well, we've been told by management, we've been told by coaching staff and front office and management, you guys don't see what we've seen. And supposedly from their mouth, these guys are ready to rock and roll.
Tony, I tell you, it's going to be fun. Tony, we're going to go, though. I tell you what, I'm going to be back tomorrow, and, Tony, you're driving and talking at the same time. Because I have problems sometimes chewing gum and walking at the same time, and I'm impressed with what you're trying to do there.
No, I've got my earphones on, so...
All right. You watch what you're doing.
Yeah, that doesn't...
all right.
Bother me at all.
All right, bro.
All right, brother.
Talk to you tomorrow then.
No worries. Shout out to everyone and see you in the next chapter.
Looking forward to it. All right, Tony. Cheers.
All right, mate. Cheers, buddy.
There he goes. And we reel back to Ellis. Ellis is hanging out with the squad. I knew it. I heard members of the squad. Who is that?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
This is Joshua.
Joshua, how you doing tonight?
Hello, Ronbo.
Hi, how you
doing?
Yeah, I know. What y'all doing? You having dinner? Having dinner?
Nothing, just chilling.
Just chilling? Watching TV?
Yeah.
Hey, Joshua, what do you like to watch?
Football.
Yeah. No! He didn't say I like to watch superheroes or anything else. He likes to watch football. Joshua, you know what? I kind of feel you're going to be a good football player, too.
Huh?
I think you're going to be a good football player, too. Okay. Yeah. Are you going to be a quarterback just like your dad?
Right now.
You're a quarterback already.
We work right now.
All right. How deep can you throw that pass? Can you throw 20 yards, 30 yards? How far?
Drop
steps. Drops back, 2-step, 3-step, 4-step drop. How you do?
7. And then
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
3, 5, and 7. Too.
See, you got that kind of arm. It doesn't matter. Drop back all the way to the back of the stadium. Still hit that receiver in stride. And
also hot routes and motion.
Yes, indeed. Those take timing, and you have to have a lot of practice to get those right. I am impressed. Look at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Joshua, you could have a receiver like Deebo Samuel. Would you pay him big money?
Yeah.
Joshua says if I get paid first. Joshua, let me talk to your dad. It's good to talk to you too, all right? Talk later.
Nice talking to you, Ronbo.
Thanks, Josh. It's a pleasure. My pleasure.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Niner faithful.
It is. And I knew you were. Absolutely cool as can be. Got to be proud of him. I can tell.
You know, oh yeah. We've been working. He's funny because yesterday he was asking me, because it's summertime, so schedule will change up when he comes.
Right.
And he was asking about you, and I said, I don't know. He's supposed to be on Wednesday.
Yeah, we had
he
problems.
wanted to talk to Ronbo, so he came on tonight, and I said, oh, cool. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So,
I love it.
Good look.
and you got to learn a lot. He's thinking quickly about the ball game and everything. I'm telling you, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. I'm working with him, every chance, I get, man. We're getting out there on the field, and, I'll play wide receiver. I'll let him, QB, and then I'll, and then switch it up.
That's got to be too
Got him
much
with
fun.
the drop steps and teaching him motion and just everything.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Running hot routes. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hot routes,
we got on the knee.
So we're looking at.
Oh yeah. Now, when the defense is rushing, I always tell them, the defense is on the opposite side, so you might have to let the ball go quick. So you do like a, maybe sometimes a 2-step drop, or a short 3. You know what I mean, and release. So he's got to get the ball out quicker. So that's what the hot routes is for. And then as a receiver, I'll shorten my route so he can get it out to me.
It's gonna be nice when the girls get a little bit older. You can have them play defense, and they can come and pick Joshua off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
I don't know how many cousins or anything you had or relatives in your family, but I have. My sister Camilla can really run, right? This is like you can't get out in front of your boys if your sister's got Olympic speed, and she's all calling you out. And this goes all the way back. It can be embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So, if they get out there and mess with Joshua's mind, maybe you don't want to do that though. If they're, because girls can be really talented, especially between the ages of 6 to 12. They can be every bit as athletic as boys. Oh,
yes. Yeah. And it's funny because my youngest, Zamari, she's like a spin image of me. She's like the fire she's got in her is just different than all of my kids, honestly.
Right.
She's the youngest, so to see her, she's ready. I mean, she'll bust out, push-ups. She's pretty much outrunning her older siblings and everything. She's only 5, so I'm like, oh yeah, you got it in you. We're going track. We're going all the way. So they're definitely going to keep each other, lifted with in the competition area. So that's something I look forward to for sure.
It's gonna be a good time. Well, we got back into Deeboism, and because a lot of people, because we stopped talking about Deebo for a while because it got ridiculous. The time has come back again, and the things that are being said now is Deebo's probably going to come in looking for a short-term deal because he's likely looking to get a second payday in his career, and the 49ers are probably going to want to go along with him. 3 or 4, 4-year or 5-year contract. 49ers would probably like to keep him all the way to 2027 and put that little clause in there within the last couple of years. We have the option to say goodbye if we're not satisfied with your performance. Deebo's going to try to protect himself, and this is why some of what's going on now might be because of that. There's speculation with some of the media people. So,
Yeah.
But what do you think? What's going to? You think Deebo's going to find take a 3-year deal, or like Eric Davis says, 49ers ain't got to pay Deebo a damn thing. Deebo's still under contract. If he wants to sit down this year, let him sit down. If he would. Some people playing hardball. Shabazz came in and said, you offer him this much money, you give him a $30,000 guarantee, and that's enough. I said, damn. There's a lot of us are playing hardball with Deebo. What would you do?
I mean, I would do the 3-year and allow him to work for it, because this is the thing. The 3 years with stipulations and stuff like that to make sure, like you were saying, that the team is secure or the organization is secured, I'll say, puts Deebo in a position where he has to maintain and uphold his part of the bargain. All we got to do is pay the money. You have to play. You have to perform. So if you only perform 1 out of those 3 years, that's that interferes with what you take, with what you get at the end of it all. And that's going to put little more pressure on Deebo, you know. But I would do a 3-year.
What's your
You
guarantee?
know, to see where. Oh, well, see, that's the thing. If it's only going to be 3 years, then what did Terry
Shabazz
McLaurin
offered a
get?
30.
Guaranteed?
Shabazz offered 30 mil.
Yeah, I would say about 30. I would say about 30, between 25 and 30. You know, guaranteed for a 3-year. 25? So a 70,
Yeah, because
73, maybe give him 73 to 75.
okay,
Give him a
that's
little
what
more than Terry.
I was getting ready to fill you in on because Terry McLaurin got paid 75 Tuesday. So you give Deebo 80, guarantee him 30. Should he bite on that?
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I do it. We got a deal. I do it.
Yeah.
He's worth it. You know what I mean? He's worth it. If he's healthy and he takes it seriously, he takes, you know, he comes with that same play that he did last year. I mean, nobody's going to be able to compete with that. You know what I mean? All around, nobody can do that. If Deebo can do that consistently every year, like the Devontaes, you know, I mean, Stephon Diggs, he's played fairly consistent throughout his career for the most part, but I don't know what season or how many seasons he had like Deebo did last year. You know what I mean? And Devontae usually is the one that's, in my opinion, been the most consistent each year.
Which is why he got the longest contract. They gave him a 5-year contract.
Yeah,
Didn't even think anything about it. And Devontae's no teenager. So that says a lot about, like you're saying, he's built a legacy. I mean, he's built a reputation now that you got to pay him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and so, you know, that's he's put in the work, and he showed that, you know, he's dependable. One of the, you know, he's a top 5 undoubtedly. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
In the last God knows how many years. You know, you don't get that kind of consistency like that. You know.
I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to do. And you see what Aaron Rodgers got to throw to now? If Aaron Rodgers pulls a rabbit out of the hat this year with the receiving crew he has now, I'm gonna have to give him a lot of love, boy, because that's, you know, he's got a couple of rookies, and I look
What
at the rest of the
veteran
guys.
wide receiver? Did they get a veteran wide out? Did they sign somebody?
No, he's just got Lazard. You know, he's got his boy that he got back last year. Valdez Scantling left. I don't know what he's gonna do. I still get it.
Oh, what's his name?
And they got the kid that everybody wanted from
guy.
Dakota, Trey Lance's receiver.
Yeah.
And they got one more, but that's going to be interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. And they got Amari Rogers. He plays special teams. He's returning and stuff like that. But Amari Rogers from Clemson, he's really good too. He played with Trevor Lawrence, him and Cornell Powell. They was really good out of Clemson. So hopefully, he'll get some burn next year, and he'll be able to do some stuff. Because he was a damn good receiver in college. But we'll see what happens, man.
He's got a good quarterback. So.
Pay the man. I heard about the Deshaun stuff, man. You know, it's getting a little crazy over there. I don't know, man. And you know, honestly, Ronbo, just lastly, the thing with the money, people can sue you for just about anything nowadays, and if they got the money or they got an attorney who's doing something on contingency, they'll keep going and take the case on, and you have to keep paying. So when you have to keep paying for court fees, you have to keep paying for attorney fees and all that. It just ends up being cheaper that you settle, even if you know, whether you're not in the wrong, and you know it's on somebody trying to dig in my pockets kind of situation. It's just easier to get it over with that way. I'm just in general, but I think that's maybe what they're
doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway. All
right, Ellis. See, I'm gonna look for you tomorrow.
Yes,
you guys keep working out. I love it.
Yeah, I bet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, appreciate you, fam. Shout out to the squad.
Shout out to the faithful. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, fam.
Thank you. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe, man. Know where you at. Wipe your feet. Shout out to faithful. Maya, come grab the phone because I got these gloves on my hand.
Bye, Ronbo.
Hey, Maya. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fabulous. I you know, the weekend's coming up, Amaya, and as you know, there's nothing more fun than a weekend. So
have a good night.
You too, Amaya. Appreciate that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. What a group. They're so cool. And we moved out to Tony. Atlanta's Tony. We got Tony's here, boy. We got Tony. Tony.
Just like the old 90s singing group, huh?
You right? Were they? Did they go back as far as the 90s?
I think it was the 90s, yeah. 90s, early 2000s, Tony.
Yeah. Hey,
How
so
you
Tony,
doing?
I'm doing great, you know. Because every day that goes by, a little closer to the season. We got another 3 weeks. So Tony,
Yeah, I was on one of these publications, and this one guy, he talks about the draft, talks about teams. He was throwing around some trade scenarios, Ronbo, and you're not going to be happy with him. But to tell you about, he did some. He said he had DK Metcalf because of the contract situations, Deebo and Metcalf and some others.
Yeah.
He had Seattle trade DK Metcalf to Baltimore for Baltimore's first round, second round, and fifth round picks of next year.
Ooh. That situation is not as pleasant as I thought it was, because everybody acts like DK's always said that. No, we cool over here, man. Hey, don't start. You know, that offer's out there.
Now, this is just what he said in his YouTube publication.
Okay.
He had some others. He had I told you about our inside linebacker Deion Jones, recovering from shoulder surgery.
Right.
The 2-time Pro Bowler.
Right.
They got us trading him. We'll be trading because we don't have a 6th-round pick next year, but we got 2 7th-round picks. They got us trading Deion Jones to the Washington Commanders and both of our 7th-round picks of next year for defensive tackle. What is his name? Payne, the guy from Alabama. Payne.
Is that his name? That's what we were talking about. That's what I was asking you about the other day. The one who came into the league, we had some kind of injury that was evolving, and it might take him out after a while, but he's still playing. The guy's a brute.
Oh, you talking about Smoot? You talking about the defensive end, Smoot?
Wait, what's his name?
No, I'm talking about the defensive tackle, Payne. I forgot his first name.
Okay.
I'm looking it up now.
Because you said Bama. I thought about that. Okay.
Yeah, because Bama got 2 of them. They got Allen.
Allen is who I'm talking about. That's who I'm thinking about. That's the big monster in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, they got us getting Deron Payne. Remember Allen and Payne got into their fight on the sideline on national television?
That was a nasty fight, too. I do remember that now that you brought it up. So they're getting rid of him? They're shipping him out.
Well, they're talking about it because he was the one, the aggressive Deron Payne.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are they fighting? They both played together in college, won a national championship.
See.
But, in the heat of the battle.
Yes, when you're on the field, all of a sudden things, and they probably apologize to each other later because you lost your mind for a minute. But yeah, the people in the office do not think that's funny.
No,
yeah.
From National too, and the camera crews are right there.
It looked
but
bad.
There's more around. They got his publication. He has you guys trading Jimmy Garoppolo to the Carolina Panthers for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, the Panthers somehow remain in the conversation, and I don't know who do the Panthers. Because what was that? Who that said that? What's his name? Was pretty much a designated starter for now, but they weren't happy with him.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah. The Panthers, I think the only thing the Panthers would have taken Jimmy by now, the only thing they were concerned with was his salary, it seems that I remember. Unless they've eased up on that. Well, the 49ers agreed to pay some of it.
Some Jimmy's salary?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, because I know they drafted one of those quarterbacks, Matt Corral, out of Ole Miss, but I don't think he's all that. In the 3rd round.
And even if he 3rd-round pick, and even if he is, you don't want to rely upon him. And what's his name's already shown that he's not going to be able to get it done. So you get Jimmy. Do they have a good run game?
Well, remember Christian McCaffrey? He'll be back.
What am I talking about? Oh, yeah, that would be ideal. Jimmy only needs a run game to support him. As long as he's got receivers that are pretty. Who's the receiving core in Carolina? You still got McCaffrey, but he's going to get hurt though.
Yeah, he somehow he can't. Ever since he got that 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, he's been hurt the last 2 years.
Yeah. So you've got to have a reliable short route running receiver. If you do, Jimmy will cut a team up, but you still need that support run game.
Moore out of Maryland. He was in the 2018 draft. DJ Moore, first DJ Moore. He was the first receiver taken in the draft in 2018. He was taking 2 spots above Calvin Ridley.
Damn.
Everybody knows who's better.
Is he actually better than Ridley? 2 spots ahead of Ridley.
No, he ain't better than Ridley. He got his first 1,000-yard season here, but Ridley's had 1,200-yard season and 2 800-yard seasons.
Man. And by the way, Jimmy Grillo, you know what? I said give Jimmy a run game, but you know what I'd like to know? I'd like to see Jimmy used like Belichick used him. Give him the ball and let him run the offense. When we played with the Patriots, Jimmy was solid passing the ball. I could be wrong. Jimmy maybe does not need a lot of run game. You know what? When he first came to the 49ers, he was hitting Marquise Goodwin and Trent Williams right and left. Boom, 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 boom. And that was working really well. I mean, so maybe he doesn't run game. Maybe just exactly what Jimmy doesn't need a lot of. Because when you come from the Tom Brady school of I throw the ball, maybe that's better for him. Could be.
Yep. And another trade scenario he had, and I disagree with this one because the trade I'm about to tell you, y'all could have did this with the Jets and y'all turned them down. They got Deebo Samuel going to Matt Ryan's Colts for the Colts' first and second round pick. Isn't that what the Jets offered you guys? A first and second round pick?
You know what?
It didn't make.
I do not know. The 49ers really, I think they really don't want to get rid of Deebo. They really don't. And they wish he would calm down. We're going to find out a lot about the 49ers in the next 3 weeks. If they sign Deebo to the most lucrative deal of all the receivers in the last few weeks, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get mad. I really am, Tony. Because I'm saying, you know what, 49ers, why did you put everybody, including Deebo, through all that, just knowing you were going to do this?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, they could have got it done sooner for cheaper.
Yes.
Because now the market's been reset.
And Deebo hasn't been, I worry Deebo has not been working out. It's like, intensity would be. It's really strange.
Football instincts are coming around. And when training camp's right around the corner, you would think they would be working out.
But what's just mad as Deebo seems to be, I do wonder. And he did look like he gained a lot of weight last time I seen him in footage. So I don't know.
Yeah, man.
But anyway.
I don't know. I just know I'm excited for this camp coming up. The Falcons, we're going to surprise some people, man. We're going to surprise some people. And I don't think Tampa, matter of fact, we got Tampa's punter today. They cut their punter. You guys drafted this guy.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Starts with a P. Damn it, I can't think of his name right now. I saw that. Yeah. Yep. That just happened the other day.
2015. Yeah, we signed him today. So he's going to be our regular punter. And I'm looking forward to seeing our defense play because our linebacking core, boy, 8 deep, and our secondary, I just would like to get another defensive end to go with Grady Jarrett.
And you just may get one, Tony. But we ran out of time. We always run out of time seemingly quickly, don't we? Wait, Tony,
yes, sir.
I'll be back tomorrow, though.
Yes, sir. We'll talk some more football tomorrow.
Right.
The chat is quiet tonight. I kind of like it.
Yeah, the Rams fans came in and left all at the same time, except for Rudy. Rudy thinks he's educated.
Yeah, me and Rudy been kind of talking back and forth, nothing, just, talking football back and forth. And I just told him, better buckle up his chin strap because they coming after him.
Have a great night, fam. We'll talk to you later, huh?
All right.
All right. Not by nature. I don't have to try to tame you. I noticed you get beat up a lot lately by your overhype of a certain player. So I'm not trying to tame you. You get enough grief. I actually try to protect you sometimes. Hey, oh no! Of all people, it's Rudy. Rudy.
Ronbo!
God, Rudy. Last time you were watching from Disneyland. You know where are you at now? You got to be at Knott's Berry Farm.
I got off work a little while. I got off work a little while ago, and I wanted to catch you guys on here. And so, Ronbo, what's going on in Ninerville? I mean, Jimmy's still there. They haven't announced Trey Lance as the starting quarterback. He's actually a few weeks ago was working on his delivery still on his arm, on his throwing motion. Deebo still wants to be traded.
Wait. He said he hasn't rescinded. That, well, I don't know what that means. I need for him to say, "Look, trade me now," or else I'm going to just say he hasn't rescinded his earlier offer, which may not be him.
I mean, Ronbo, you know, we're so lucky on the Rams side because our guys like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, you know, they're hard workers. You know, Jerry Rice is rolling over in his grave and he's not even dead yet. When guys like Deebo are worried about, you know, their money instead of working on their game. You know how it's been legendary how Jerry Rice used to train for the big games and go up those hills and all that, and Deebo's just partying at clubs and talking about he wants to get his money after one good year. It was a spectacular year, but amazing, you know. So that's why when we look over in Santa Clara, we kind of just get a smirk on our face because we're just chilling, you know, waiting to run it back. You know, we had a Bobby Wagner at the drop of a hat. Our offensive line looks really good. Logan Bruss is said to maybe be a starter, the guy that we picked up from Wisconsin. It's beautiful, Ronbo. I got to tell you, man, with Allen Robinson, man, and then if we get OBJ for the stretch run, the only thing that worries me though is there's some tenderness in Stafford's right arm, so he's a little banged up, so we're resting him. So that's the only thing, you know. But you know, he's not gonna. They brought him in for one reason, Ronbo, and I know you don't want to hear all this, but God bless him. You know,
you.
I know you don't want to hear Ronbo, but
no. I'm always amused by you and what's his name, the guy who's got a firm, marketing pro.
Oh yeah, that's my dude.
You guys killed me.
You know. But Ronbo, I want to tell you something. Look, I know this is a Niners show, and I know it doesn't matter what we say, but this could be the golden era of Rams modern football because we already have, now just listen to what I'm saying, we already have the chip on the shelf in LA, right? We already have the same amount of rings as the greatest show on turf. Thanks to Mike Martz, who's the Kyle Shanahan II, who's a great offensive coordinator but not a great head coach, we left rings on the table. So here we are with Stafford. Now we add Wagner. That was our big deficiency on the defense. You know, even if we weren't going to run it back this year and win it, I hope we do. We could be back in the next year and win it at the Raiders' house in Las Vegas in 2023. So because next year we have $13 million dead money on the cap. Guess what? Next year we got zero. Imagine Leslie with a checkbook that has unlimited amount of money. So you know. It's a beautiful time, Ronbo, and God bless you guys. You know, I know your guy Jimmy G. You know, he's still there. You know, they should just say, you know what, come back, Jimmy, and you know, we'll go for one more year. I don't understand what's going on there, Ronbo. You got to cut the umbilical cord, man. What do you think about that, Ronbo? You being a fan, you're the Niner guru. Doesn't it bother you that they don't want to make a decision either way?
No, I gave up trying to figure out what's going on. You know, we're going to be, I do know we're going to be surprised by some announcement in about, I don't know what length of time, but every year the 49ers come up and say something that nobody saw coming. So I have no idea what that's going to be this year.
I mean, you guys were
there was a year when remember that year that
season.
Antonio Brown was running around looking for a job, and every other 49er fan wanted him to come to San Francisco, right? Jerry Rice was out there pumping the horn out in front of the facility about AB, because he had been working out with AB. Everybody wanted to see him come on over. And the 49ers came out, no, we there was never any consideration to bring in AB. The way John said it's like, well, Jesus Christ, how come? Who put that out there? So I figure that's going to be another thing this year. So I don't know what it's going to be. Deebo's probably going to be the one.
As a Ram fan, if that was us, I'd be like, just cut the guy already. I'm tired of hearing it on the news. I'm tired of hearing that he's still here. You know, God bless him. He did what he could for us. That's why I'm so glad. God bless Jared Goff. He took us as far as he could. You know, we should have won that Super Bowl in 2018. Let's just face it. We only scored 3 points. Tom Brady only had 3 points going into the fourth quarter, and that's the great Tom Brady. We just kept giving him the back, and finally they're going to make some plays. But Sean McVay and Les Snead said, you know what, man, God bless you, but you're out of here. And they got Stafford. That's what you guys need to do, cut that umbilical cord and get the guy going.
It's like Marketing Pro told the truth. You know, and I know, if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, he didn't beat any other team in the NFL. He's going to beat your team. So it would behoove you to see him leave.
And you know what's funny is, I don't know if you remember that 2019 game. We needed that game to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that same play that he cannot hit against anybody else, we had a mess up in the secondary, and he was right on the money, and they got the first down, and you guys won by 3, 34-31. But we'll see what happens. But I want to just say something real quick, Ronbo. I know you got other callers. As Ram fans, we're not being arrogant or delusional.
No.
I just want to run this by you. Now, picture what I'm saying. I'm going to do it real quick. Picture what I'm saying if they were the Niners fan. You guys were coming off your Super Bowl, and you were the Niners that won the Super Bowl, right? So Cam Akers goes down right before camp. Everyone's saying Stafford finally has a running game, right? Well, he goes down. And then halfway through the season, Robert Woods goes down, right? And then in the NFC Championship game, Higbee goes down. And then in the Super Bowl, OBJ goes down. We're down to our third string tight end. And we still won the Super Bowl. So that's why I say that this Super Bowl, not that it's going to be easy, it could be easier than last year because we've already been through the ringer. Look at what we already overcame with this group. And Stafford has shown if the game is close in the fourth quarter, the Tom Brady soul stealer, he will beat you. And that's what he's done, 4-0 in the playoffs as a Ram. So that's why I say that. It's not being arrogant. It's not being delusional. It's just because we've already seen the worst, which was last year with all these injuries, and we still won. We had to get Widow off of the scrap heap in the secondary, and even he got hurt.
Okay. We're out of time.
But anyway, but you understand what I'm saying, Ronbo, because we've been around for a long time, and, when teams have injuries like that, especially in Super Bowl, they usually don't come through.
Yeah.
Well, so I know it's hard for you to give us credit, Rombo, but you do got to
I congratulate you. I said congratulations on that.
Tough.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
but also
Rudy,
too,
get off my phone.
Rombo,
I'm leaving. Hey,
get your but real quick, Rombo.
No,
get
real
your
quick.
Twitter ready for Kyrie Irving and Durant coming to the Lakers.
Well, I heard about that. That's not going to happen.
We'll see. Hopefully, Rombo, we'll see. We can agree on that. But anyway, have a good night, Rombo.
All right.
Take care, my brother. And I'll see you at the Rams Parade again next year.
Good night, Rudy.
Good night.
See, because we people look at us as the standard. This is why when they can overcome us, they gotta rub elbows with us. It won't last much longer, really. Hey, Naj.
What's that, Norma?
Naj, between Deebo and the 49ers and Rudy and the Rams, it's not a real wonderful time. But Naj, I can assure you things are going to improve. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, when do we get back on Deebo?
Deebo? Yeah, well, see, because Deebo, it's almost time. See, because the thing is, writers talk, here's what Deebo's going to be expecting. Deebo's going to want a short-term deal because he's looking to maybe get another payday within his career. If he gets a 3-year deal from 49ers, he'll play till he's 30 years old. He should still be looking good. He can go out and sign with somebody else. And the 49ers are looking to go long-term with Deebo more than likely, a 5-year. The 49ers would love to keep him in at 2020, 26, 27. and use him up and have a 2-year clause in there where if he's not producing anymore, they can say goodnight. So, it's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do, but Lodge, you and I both know the 49ers come up with something that shocks us every year. And I figure, I can't imagine there's going to be something shocking within the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So,
Yeah, when training camp?
26th.
26th, yeah. We should get something by then. Kind of like the
20-something days.
kind of like the talk to him during training camp. He said they be in the building. I can look at them in their face every day.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny, and then you got we got no weaknesses on this team, but they still put the spotlight on the offensive line. Now we're ranked as number 13 as far as personnel goes in the team, as far as weaknesses and strengths.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got the best. We got the best defense in the league.
I guess that doesn't give you the see, because I agree wholeheartedly. Our secondary looks good too, but they still ranked us in the teens. They even ranked the Dolphins ahead of us.
We probably got the best 17. You know what I'm saying? We 17 players deep on defense. We ain't just got a good secondary, good D line tonight. We got 17, at least 17 players on defense.
I think, you know what, Dodge? I think we're going to have I bet they're going to keep more players on defense than they keep on offense this year.
I'm talking about top players, good. You know what I'm
yeah. And that defense don't have no weaknesses.
17 starters.
That defensive line, there is no weakness. Everybody who's sitting down has got to be wondering why he ain't playing. For whatever length of time he's sitting down.
Safety, probably strong safety, probably our biggest weakness. But other than that,
Tavares, Hufanga, Odom. See, even those guys they're not just absolute trash. None of them are. They're average to a little above average. Tavares Moore might be a bad boy if he could just, I don't know how he's going to look, but he was coming around.
Oh, he gonna be excellent.
Yeah,
I'll say he can guard. He said if you can't play man, you can't be corner nowadays.
So
still got Verrett.
See, that's the question mark. Is he going to be able to play? I don't know. The 49ers re-signed him. They must think he's going to be okay.
I say, yeah, he got hurt. If he healthy, we saw what healthy Verrett do.
Oh yeah, he's a Pro Bowler. I mean, if I didn't know nothing about him before he came to us, but I'd heard he was a Pro Bowler while he was with the Chargers, right? And then last year, that year before he got hurt, I said, "Oh, okay, now I understand what they were talking about. This guy could play." So
yeah, so that's just a plus. If he ain't hurt, if he do get hurt, we ain't missing him how we missed him last year for getting hurt. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
Because you picked up when you picked up Tavares, I want to see what he looks like in real time. But Tavares, I think he might be legit. I know Ambry Thomas. I'm looking for him to take some strides ahead of what he was last year. I was impressed with him. Did you notice every time a play was made, he may have not made the play, but he was right there on top of it. So no matter what your route's running or what you're doing out there, Ambry's on your hip. You ain't getting away. That's a mark of a champion.
He got that pick against Stafford.
Yep. Oh, isn't that Rudy's boy we were just talking about? Rudy thinks Stafford's going to be all-world again next year. Has he got
the same Stafford?
The book is out on him on NFC. Yeah. And Stafford's going to throw a minimum of 14 to 15 INTs. Stafford is lucky that Kwasi didn't hold on to that INT, or Rudy might not be in here talking trash,
Very lucky.
So
he's extremely lucky.
But that's all right. The Rams, it was their day.
Same time you come back down from 17 to whoop up on the team that was celebrating in the end zone with their coach.
I know, right? Hey, you guys go out to the playlist. We'll stop the 49ers from winning the playoffs. Boom! 17 points down. Here come the Niners. The Niners have defeated and swept the Rams for how many years in a row?
third.
I don't want to hurt Rudy's feelings. He was having such a good time. I was going to remind him of some of those things.
They had their fun.
Yeah. They got one more time. That's fine.
But yeah, we got the best pass catchers in the league.
You know,
Ayuk, Jennings, Deebo, Kittle.
I just hope Deebo plays, because that, no matter what else, those guys, Deebo is still the game changer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's that stand out, give me the ball, game changer.
Yeah, he our best receiver. I'm not the type that's gonna say we don't need him because he want to get paid. You feel me? I want to work it out.
So yeah,
you know, everybody up here talking about we don't need him, this and that. He can go.
Nah.
They ain't see. They must have forgot or they ain't seen him.
They don't know what it's like. We remember what it was like when we didn't have Deebo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did not.
So when he was younger, we had to get Sanders.
Yeah. Well, you know what? With him and Sanders was the game. We needed Sanders that year because we didn't have. This is the best wide receiver group we've had since Shanahan got there, right? Sanders came in, but Deebo was coming along, getting better. By week 8, and Kendrick Bourne was starting to look like, whoa, look at KD. They all got better after Sanders showed up. And that's when the 49ers started doing
and
better.
Jimmy and Sanders, that chemistry, that quick sweat chemistry was
that's
something different.
Yeah, that's
A1.
That's the thing. Certain quarterbacks, they have to have a polished player. Jimmy had the kind of wide receiving room that year. It was all about Jimmy that time. All he could do was work with what he had, and they did okay. But when Sanders came, oh yeah, now we're going somewhere. Because, the veteran presence is always better, especially with wide receivers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we going to be straight. Even if we got to pound the ball, we can win. Because I remember that 2019 when we was we like 5-0, 8-0 at one point? I forgot.
I know. I keep getting that mixed up. No, we did win that game we won that game against the Steelers, and we almost lost. That was the worst game we had, and wasn't that the bye week was and Dante
Jimmy
Pettis
hit Pettis
of all people. Dante Pettis is the game winner. Oh, so
But yeah, that's when Juice had stiff arm Mika.
I know. Oh yeah, wasn't that hilarious? I'd never seen a man get twirled like a baton like that.
That's especially like Mika.
I know, because Mika ain't small.
That year we was winning. Every game we won was a different way. That's why we went to the Super Bowl. And this year I think we can win in different ways too.
Yeah. I'm sure Kyle's got something. He's got something figured out. Because it's gonna be tough this year. The competition notch. Oh man, Eric called in earlier, talked about the string of games. We don't have any breaks this year. There's no 1 week where you can go in and think you got it made. None. Every game is going to be a contest. So
we built for it. They gotta play us.
Yeah, that's right. And our defense ain't letting you. And Chicago does not know it, but that defense. I don't care who you are. You're going to have trouble this year with that. Boy, the 49ers defense is going to be rough. I can't wait.
Yeah. In the run game, you're going to have to play. You're going to have to put your head down and play all 4 quarters. A lot of teams ain't going to be wanting to do that.
I know.
They ain't going to want to hit. They ain't going to want to play. Come on now. The quarterback going to be scared. You saw how they be playing us. They going to be quick outs. Whole bunch of quick throws. Quarterback ain't gonna be in the pocket at all.
Yeah, you know what? That's the only form you can do against that defensive line. A lot of teams are gonna have to do that. Yeah, So we're gonna find out. Yeah, Lodge. Always great to talk to you. I see you on Twitter, and I see you tomorrow too.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit.
All right, man. Have a good night. Yeah, man. It's always fun to reminisce. You know, the Rams are going to be fun to watch this year because, you know, you can't. There was key personnel. When you think about what Von Miller did for the defense actually took over. It was, again, in that NFC Championship game, it was going to be which defense wasn't going to blink. And that's what happened. We blinked. When you win a game by 3 points, that's a defensive matchup. So you look at no more Von Miller. Didn't they lose a couple other defenders too? So now, in a game like that, and also it wouldn't have mattered if Trent Williams wouldn't have had a bad ankle. 49ers still would have won that game. And you know it, Rudy. You know, it's you got away this year. Congratulations, right? You know, because the 49ers already beat both of y'all earlier in the year. So you and Cincinnati. So, you know, that was our ring to get. But you got the luck, and you got it. So, you know, it's okay. We'll be back. Then, hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for you tomorrow. In the meantime, have a great night. Thanks for hitting that like. See what I did? You know what's going right there, right? And subscribe so I can find you tomorrow, too. Contributions, thanks, fam. See you tomorrow. Hey,